Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to this Halloween edition of WOR Legacy Division. We are here tonight for round number 10 of the championship with tricks and treats galore for the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Ghoul Villeneuve. My name is James Heard, the Count of the commentary box tonight. I'll be taking you through the commentary, as always, on this fine Halloween evening. And joining me in the commentary box, well, he's my right-hand man. He is Count Dracula himself. It is Mr. Ross Greenhorn. Ross, how you doing?
Fantastic analogy. Hello everyone, welcome back. Another good week of racing in the WR Legacy Division. What a fantastic race last time out in Bahrain. It was OP finally returning to that top step. A fantastic drive from OP Mubarak, finally gaining a bit more on that gap to F7R behind, who, shockingly enough, have a double qualifying ban tonight for a late lineup. How stupid of them, but I'm sure they'll give it their best chance tonight. But a difficult track ahead of them. Canada is not an easy track to attack. Not many are taking opportunities other than that last straight towards possibly the hardest corner on the F1 circuit, being the Wall of Champions.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how the drivers get on out on track. And as I mentioned, tricks and treats galore potentially tonight here in Canada, with maybe even a two-stop strategy or one, or the strategies being two-stop potentially in this race, which should be very interesting indeed. Sprint results first, of course, from last week in Bahrain. If you didn't see Bahrain, where were you? Rhys Linton out on top from Kai Pearson in second. A to-be-announced 1-2, a fantastic race as well from their perspective. OP Louis Valentin in third. Didn't quite get back to form in PSGL last night, but he is going to be chomping at the bit, I'm sure, with OP tonight. Urpek in fourth, along with Keenan fifth for F7R. Of course, with their double qualifying ban, they're going to be out of qualifying at the start. Ghost King and Sigma Bark in seventh. Lou there in eighth. Tom in ninth. And Harvey rounding off the top 10. And a reminder as well, the feature race results you mentioned there as well. Mubarak on top. Kai Pearson in second. Keen in third. Put it this way, it's interesting for qualifying one as I glance to the left-hand side of my screen. Louis Valentin, then Harvey, Ruti, Axe, Reese, Gabor, and then Tales, Stonks, Lou, Justin Mateo, and Brandlocks, the 15 drivers. That were the top 15 last week in Bahrain. But reflecting, of course, on Bahrain, Ross, Mubarak out on top. He came back to form. He has been the four-man in previous championships, AEC as well. He took the race win. Are OP looking for their second win in a row?
Yeah, they can gain a lot of confidence from last race. Mubarak did really well all race long, keeping with the likes of Rhys Linton and Kai Pearson as well. Keane also having a really strong race for F7R, not able to move anywhere else in the end. But yeah, Louis Valentine and Mubarak did really, really well from where they were. Mubarak, tough sprint for him, wasn't really to get anywhere else, but that race win was something else. That last lap overtake, the mistake from Kai down turn number 10 was all he needed to take that race win for Outplayed once again. Obviously, they were three in a row at the start. They had a little short dip in form from around Qatar, but yeah, back again on the top step. Mubarak and Kai Pearson having a dominant display. Kai Pearson, as we said, a very good 2 seconds for to be announced. They're up in fourth place now in the standings, along with Outplayed on 344 and F7R on 280.
Yeah, very good stuff from Outplayed Racing. On top, 344 points, as you mentioned. It is what I like to say a 50. No, hang on. I'm going to have to count this up. It's 64 points. 64 points between OP and F7R. I don't know why I was actually doing maths there. But OP leading the way from F7R in second. Novus Racing in third, to be announced in fourth on 176. They are really jumping up, potentially into the top three. I expect them to be up the top end, certainly tonight. Bunga Racing Team in fifth on 173, then Team Shazoo in 6th on 167, NLR in 7th on 151, then G League in 8th on 148, Parnell Racing in 9th on 142, Future Racing Team in 10th on 83, then ET8 and 11th on 80. Watch out for them here tonight with their lineup, and Nexus Racing in 12th on 35. The now defunct team, of course, they're down in 12th position, and let's have a look at who is going to be racing here tonight as well. It is going to be intermediate conditions to start off here in qualifying one. Joe Murphy is the first man out on track. You'll see this very shortly. But looking at the lineup, Ross, we have got some very interesting teams. More so, I think, F7R, Yossi and Yaron having to make it from the back of the field. Two very consistent drivers on their day. F7R are up against it already from the off.
Yeah, I know they're backed up to the wall early on. Mark Dawes and Ryan, though, two very strong drivers for Outplayed, racing, but as you get Yossi in your own, two drivers you cannot count out just yet. Another shock one though, NVR Ogwin and NVR Rev, a late sub-in for the other NVR Rev alongside Ogwin. Is originally going to be NVR Nick, but I believe it's an illness that is causing him to be subbed out. But Tales and Marlon, and they're too strong on there for them. BRT Gabor and BRT Joe Murphy again, arguably BRT's strongest lineup tonight. So they're really going to go for it around Canada. Two of their strongest drivers. Hopefully they can pick up a good result with Shizu Ruti back and also Shizu Vola Kongen as well. But Joe Murphy's on a lap soon. James, I'll let you take us away on this lap, this fantastic track of Canada.
Ah, my Elgato's not working. Hang on, I will be back with you hopefully in a second with this. I don't know what on earth has gone wrong with this. Hang on, give me a second. There we go. We can now see Joe Murphy on a lap at the speed. Technology and everything going wrong. That is a spooky start to the stream. But Joe Murphy on a lap, coming through the left-handers of 3 and 4. Really sliding the car actually out on the apex there, coming through the right-hander turn number 5 and in towards 6 and 7, 21.8 in that first sector from Joe Murphy, the Irishman, looking to try and provide a good result out on track here tonight for BRT, and is very strong as well in terms of the conditions, intermediate conditions to his liking. Nearly run into actually, that might have been his teammate just coming through that part of the track, certainly nearly run into somebody. Joe Murphy though coming through the left of 8 and 9, now the straight in towards the hairpin at turn number 10, 46.2 in that middle sector, so looking very, very good indeed. F7R Tib mentioning about that. Yes, it is a late lineup submission for them. That's why they've got the qualifying ban NVR as well, because they've swapped Nick out for Ogwin, I think it is, their NVR. Therefore, we've got a qualifying ban as a result of that as well. So you will not be seeing them in Q1. But Joe Murphy in towards the right-hander of turn 13 and 14. The infamous WOR champion came. He's a champion, of course, in console tier 2. And he's looking to try and provide a good result here in the Legacy Division to start off the night. 17.1. We will see quicker times, though, as the session goes on.
Yeah, not sure what to expect from the session so far. So the track will ramp up a bit more as we move on. Only Q1 as well. So they're going to be pretty marginal at the moment. Won't see much of an improvement from a lot of these drivers, but the hopefully the wet might disappear later on to give us a little dry end to qualifying. Looks like the Haas car, of FRT Harvey is currently flying down the straight, looking to finish off his first lap of Future Racing Team. Moved up finally from that bottom place into 9th with ET8 just below them, only 3 points off from those. So FRT need a good result today to hold that 9th place. FRT Harvey though through the final corner, he comes very safe it seemed, and a higher gear than usual with the reds, but he comes back across the line now, 17.3, only 2 tenths of a BRT Joe Murphy. Other than that though, Hazara for ETA also just finishing off his lap was like OP Ryan. Also is going to cross the line as well. No, he's not. As soon as the FRT typical as well, close to BRT Joe Murphy. Hazara be one of the next ones to cross the line for ETA. Can he improve and beat their close rival Sam Gamer?
Wow.
Jumping to the top at 16.6. That's as fast we're going to see today. Hazara though, can he end up beating that? Can he jump ahead Joe Murphy across the line behind Harvey with a 17.701?
Yeah, a little bit disappointed. Oh, good balls nearly in the WOR champions coming out of turn 13 and 14. My goodness me, that was close to the wall. He's actually coming across the line. He's still valid on a lap, luckily. 120.9 though, not his best. He's going to back off, possibly go for another run. Marketals as well is on a lap for Outplayed Racing, looking to try and outplay the opposition here tonight. Sam Gamer though out on top from Joe Murphy in second, typical there in third. Remember, F7R with Yaron and Yossi out of the session already. Rev Caterpillar, that late entry in, replacing Nick, of course, for NVR, not Ogwin, as I mentioned earlier. But NVR both out means only one driver is going to go out of Q1, so it is going to put every single one of these drivers, no matter if they're quick or not, really under pressure with only one spot actually available to be knocked out, of course, in Q1 to go into Q2. But Marketall's there in 12th position currently. No lap time set on the board, but the German cascading his way down and toward the WOR champion chicane through 13 and 14. Typical there improves up to second, so a good lap time from him. Marketall's then on the run to the line, and he goes 6th. So not a bad first run from him. 17.4. Slower than Ryan, though, his teammate, by 3 tenths of a second. Marketall's not liking the conditions early on.
Yeah, Marketall's really struggling so far. If he can hopefully try and pick up a bit of the pace so far, he's been pretty decent so far. PSL F1 pole position for him. If he can replicate that today, that'd be a fantastic result for Outplayed Racing, who are just trying to see if they can build on that gap to F7R, especially the fact that they've got that double qualifying ban. That is a massive hit towards their championship fight. but it seems like everyone else is kind of just still on their way through a couple of laps. A couple of people struggling for some grip. It seems Thales down the straight he comes. He's not used a lot of VRS. I don't know if he's pushing or not. I believe he still is though, as I don't think he is. Yeah, you can see a couple of drivers still on the outlap. So Enzo is on his outlap. He's going to be starting up very soon. Is that Shizou? Sorry, NLR Marlon is in the wall in sector number 1. He's spun around right at the end of the sector. Very easy place to spin to for the traction. Not very helpful around that part of the track. He's kept it the way. The others very respectfully, but a spin for Marlon early on. That's going to be some wing damage and back to the pits to regroup.
Yeah, definitely. So interesting as well. Marlon actually took the victory in EML in Belgium a couple of weeks ago and was very good in the wet conditions around there. So Marlon here around in Canada, wet conditions not just liking early on. Volakongen, however, is on a lap. The Norwegian now coming down the straight in towards the line, and it's a 17.178 from him. 2,000 slower than Ryan, so not a bad lap there at all from the Shizou man. The other Shizou man as well, Kazizel, on a lap coming into the WOR Champion chicane, looking to try and get a good result on the board. He's a specialist around here as well, as Kazizel now comes on the run to the line. 13th, 21.1. I think he is actually going for another run. Apologies, by the way, if you're seeing a little bit of lag on my end. I think my laptop was overheating a little bit, so hopefully it will fix itself. If it doesn't, OBS will die. The stream will die as a result, but I will be back very soon. But Sam Gamer out on top. Joe Murphy now in second, 16.7 on his lap time, so good lap time from him. Enzo as well on a lap time right now, and I think Thales was getting a little bit of slipstreaming there for Marlon as he came in towards the final couple of corners. Through the WOR Champion chicane comes the Brazilian for NLR. He's on the run to the line, and that slipstream didn't really work. 17.9, not great whatsoever for Thales there down in 13th.
Yeah, I'm not sure what NL are actually doing. Such things are not permitted in in the WR Legacy division, so I think there's a bit of a mess up there, not reading the rulebook beforehand. They've been warned by their engineers, so yeah, possible penalty on the way for NLR. Anyway, though, other drivers still out on track. BRT Joe Murphy is half a tenth up in that middle sector so far. He seems to be going pretty well. His teammate just in behind him as well. Just starting off the rest of his lap. He's got this long straight to go now. Joe Murphy into the deep hairpin, braking down at the third gear. See that slide all the way through that hairpin. You see how difficult it is with the grip around there, but he's going to carry on with the lap so far. Up at fourth, fifth gear, down this long straight. This is really where your only proper overtaking opportunities. Not the inside though, because if you got the inside, it's going to be a guaranteed collision. It's such a tight corner like the WOR Champions on your right hand side. Going to go into right hander now. You get blocked by the Alpine. He has been blocked.
What?
By the Alpine car. I'm not sure GL Enzo was into. I'm not sure what Enzo was doing. James, you might have got a better angle of that, but Enzo's completely got his way.
It's almost as if he desync, like he was being possessed by a ghost or something for Enzo there in 7th. I'm sure his internet connection might have a ghost in it right now. But he's having 8th position, actually the ball going 4th there. Not a bad lap there at all from him. But unfortunate for him, Joe Murphy did get blocked by that lap. Enzo desyncing. It is Halloween at the end of the day, and I think Enzo certainly had one too many candy, I think, with that desyncing down the straight. But it's Sam Gamer out on top. Joe Murphy in second, Hazara there in third. Good lap time there from the ET8 man. Enzo was coming through the final couple of corners looking to try and go on to another lap right now. No lap time set at the minute. Currently, it is Kazizel in the danger zone with a 121.1. But again, Enzo not looking like he's going to go on a run. Maybe just trying to get a little bit of feeling for the tyres and then go for third run on this compounder tyre, on this intermediate. So 29.8 will be well outside the 107% rule in Formula 1. Sam Gamer though out on top. Joe Murphy second, Hazara there in third. Looking through the comments, Kieran saying as well, that's a slipstream all day long. Looked like late to me. I came on board that quite late with Marlon and then and the NLR man of Thales as well. But that did look a little bit intentional, to be honest. I think got to be honest from the NLR perspective, as I say, got on board that a little bit late. Spingian as well saying in the chat that he wants to see an OP versus F7R battle. I'd love to see that as well. We haven't really had that this season, have we, in Legacy Division? I'd want to see that. Bell Roffox, though, saying in the chat as well about Thales was right behind on the minimap the entire straight. So yeah, that is looking like an intentional penalty, regardless if it's slipstream or not. Rules are rules, and if you break them, you're going to get a slap on the wrist. Maybe a Ouija board coming the way for the NLR team.
Possibly, very much possibly. Enzo really struggling so far for some grip on his lap. He's fueled enough though to go again, I believe. He's regained those ERS back. I believe he's going to go for it one more time, hoping that he can set a proper lap because he's had no proper laps in at all. He keeps on either invalidating or making a mistake which caused him to back off. So he's got 5 minutes and 30 seconds left of this session. He comes through the World Champions now towards starting off what will hopefully be a valid lap by the Red Bull drivers. Teammate currently up in P1. Sam Gamer absolutely flying with a 16.6. He should be easily through with that time. It looks like the dropout time might be about a 17.3, possibly a 0.4, but you see really tight line into turn number 1, keeping it really close to that inside apex. You see him come through the next part of the track at turn number 3 and turn number 4. Down the hill he comes, a difficult place for some traction. A lot of traction zones around this Canada track, especially coming up here at this next corner. The left-hander, he went tight to that curb on the left-hand side in this long right-handed corner. The traction made quite a struggle. You see how late he puts a full throttle on. He still carries on with the rest of the lap though. Can Enzo soon be the man to jump out of that bottom position, possibly put Shizuka's Izzle at risk?
Yeah, definitely so. Part of the to be announced team along with Sam Gamer, of course, here tonight to Enzo, looking to try and provide a good result and follow the 1-2 from the sprint race as well that the CBA team had. He's 3.5 tenths up, 46.3 in that middle sector, now coming in towards the hairpin. Not looking too bad at all is the Red Bull right now. Bit slidey on the exit, again in these intermediate condition tyres. You've got to get really on the traction coming out of the hairpin, and Enzo not managing that slightly, so might just lose a little bit of time on the run down the straight here as he comes now in towards the right-hander of the WOR champion chicane, in towards 13 and 14. Will ride on board with this part of the track as now comes through the final corners on the run to the line with Enzo. Has he actually gone for third run and actually put him up to 10th position in the end, 17.1, but everyone's going to go on a fresh set of inters. Enzo, I feel, is certainly going to be in trouble, because Izzle, by the way, was in trouble. He invalidated through the final corner on his last lap there, so he was looking to try and improve. He didn't, because Izzle there currently in the melting pot, down in 16th position, the 9-time British karting champion and Saudi World finalist, to be exact, in Kazizzle, down in 16th. Got to use his cotton silk, good effect, like what Max Verstappen did in Brazil back in 2017.
Yeah, really should try to put it to as much effect as possible. Tales, though. Tales, Harvey, and Kazizo, for me, are the ones that are really in danger of dropping out of this qualifying one. Obviously, only one person can go out, so if you are that one person, you've got to feel pretty bad for yourself in the end. Kazizo, though, right back into the pit lane. I'm sure he'll be right back out in the end. It looks like Matteo, though, is starting off his possibly his final flying lap attempt. He'll probably have enough time to possibly regain his DRS back and go one more time. As he feels enough for it, though, let's find out. In the turn number 2, he comes in this really close right-handed corner. Again, I really struggle for traction out of this corner. Turn number 2, you can see it really well, though. Through he comes to turn number 3 and number 4. Drop it down to 4. Keeping it really safe, really, you have to say, during this part of the track. So we will be a little bit more aggressive on the turn in. This time for Matteo, the playing it safe, 2 tenths up. Currently on his lap, that'll be easily enough to see him through into qualifying 2, as that is the case. But flies on through the rest of sector 2 now with no DRS. Usually you would have a little bit of DRS up into here. No DRS in the wet, obviously. You see him now come down towards the next part of the track. This really tight right left again. A very famous Gasly incident, as they are said on the TikTok platform. Not going to go any further on that though. Matteo still flying down towards the hairpin now. You can see the AlphaTauri hopefully going to get out his way. No slip change this time to an NLR for the 88 man, but Matteo still doing really well in this lap so far. If he hooks this up together, he'll easily be through and towards qualifying 2. And oh my goodness me! He's had to dodge the AlphaTauri of Tales there. Hopefully he's not lost any time from that. Into the final corner then comes Matteo 46. No substitution given. A possible blockage invalidated at the chicane. 2 minutes left. That'll be it for Matteo. Massive risk of dropping out now.
Yeah, 16.836, by the way, that would have been. He would have put him 4th. That would have been a brilliant lap for Matteo to secure him into qualifying 2. He's down in 13th. That's unlucky for some right now for Matteo, and he's got to rely on a final run. Luckily, he has got time to go for a final run, though. He's got about half a minute, potentially, in terms of a buffer. As long as he doesn't hit traffic, I think he'll be fine to go for a final run. But Sam Gabriel on top. Joe Murphy in second, Hazara there in third. The front two have backed off and have actually retired in the pit lane. Markador's as well potentially going to be in trouble. He's actually down on his lap time right now. Volokongan isn't. He's 600 top coming off his lap previously. He's just actually going on to run now, coming through this left-hand at turn number 4. Ryan, I think, might be one of the furthest on as well. He's actually one of the furthest on as he comes in towards the WOR champion chicane. A 10th and a half down, 10th and a half up even through the middle sector, coming through the WOR champion chicane. The German now on the run toward the line. Outplayed racing, taken over by the Germans tonight. Goes 6th position. Nice lap time there by a 16.9 for Ryan. Is that enough, though, with everyone around a 17.1, a 17.2 and behind? Might not be enough, I think, potentially for Ryan, even if drivers do not improve behind. He'll be fine, but he might be in a little bit of trouble later on. Volakongan is purple out of everyone in the middle sector, apparently. A 16.3, a 46.3 even, in the middle sector. If it was a 16.3, would have had a jetpack on that car. But Volakongan now running down the straight in toward the WOR champion chicane once again. He's going to hit a little bit of traffic coming through the final quarter, while the Mercedes just backing off a lap just ahead of him. Might get a little bit of impromptu slipstream actually running down the straight, does Volakongan through the final corner. Very neatly done indeed. Should be a good lap time from the Norwegian on the run to the line. And he goes 6th ahead of Ryan. Not a bad lap there at all. That is Volakongan safe, certainly into Q2.
Yeah, F40 Harvey into the final corner. He comes out. If he can hook this lap up, he'll be easily through. And a qualifying through, just like his teammate F40. Typical, he's also back out on the lap anyway. But Harvey crosses the line soon now. And his hat scars that not through. It definitely is. That's 16.8. That is a flyer of a lap from the future racing team. Man scored some good points for them last time out, and now looking to do it once again. Typical. Might be down, as you said. Kazizel has invalidated, therefore he is out of qualifying. That is it for the rest of qualifying. Then James Kazizel, another invalidation for him. That's actually 3 times he is invalidated on his lap time. James Kazizel is struggling out there for Team Shizou.
He is. Team Shizou, again, falling by the wayside. I think it was Arch, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of weeks ago for Shizou. They ended up getting one of their drivers out in Q1, and then the other qualifying through as Markenos goes quicker by 0.003 of a second than Sam Gamers. A good lap there by the German. We'll see if there's anybody else improving. Enzo was up in the middle sector, 46.1 in this middle sector, so he's certainly cooking up something for the to-be-announced team in towards the WOR champion chicane right now. I think everyone has backed off their laps, knowing that Kazizel was invalid. Everyone has backed off. Mateo scraping through as well, but Enzo now coming through the final corner. The Red Bull on the run to line, looking to try and provide himself with a good result. The rain has stopped, by the way, I think, out on track pretty much. Enzo to the line goes 6th. Very, very easily done. Volakongan backing off. Enzo was done. That's the end of Q1, and it's Markenos out on top. Sam Gamer 2nd. Joe Murphy there in 3rd. But judging by the conditions out on track, judging by the intermediate condition tyres at the end of qualifying 1 still, are we going to see a progression to dry, potentially for Q2 or Q3?
Massive possibility, James. We've got to say the times are ticking down fast. And looks like the rain is already lightening up very, very slightly. Could we have a dry qualifying 3? That would be a fantastic spectacle if that is the case. F40 Harvey at 4th, though. Markenos in the end, as you said, pole in a PSL F1. He tops qualifying 1 now for Outplayed Racing. That really is one of, if not the fastest lap of qualifying 1. Sam Gamer easily done it as well. And right at the start of Q1 with a 16.6, and BRT Joe Murphy improved later on with a 16.7. Everyone else, though, doing pretty well. So double qualifying ban for F7R, double qualifying ban for NVR, left Rev Capital, NRS, Ogween, and then Kazizel, the biggest struggler of them all, down in 16th, and the only official driver out of qualifying 1.
Yeah, people, by the way, mentioning in the chat about Enzo. He teleported. I thought there was a bit of desync, potentially, between Enzo and, I think it was Joe Murphy, if I'm not mistaken. That was teleportation at its very finest for Enzo. Luckily, he's through into Q2, because this will, however, not. He's there down in 16th, but Markenos out on top for OP. Mubarak taking the win last week. Going to be interesting to see how Markenos copes with these conditions out on track, but only 0.003 of a second separating him and Sam Gamer. Joe Murphy there in 3rd with FRT, Harvey there in 4th, possibly I think one of the shocks of the of Q1 right there, being so far up. Tellez there in 5th. Denzel there in 6th, Hazara there in 7th, and Norwegian for ET8, then Gabor in 8th, Marlon there in 9th, especially as the conditions will come alive as the sessions goes on. Volakongan there in 10th, Ryan in 11th, Mateo there in 12th, Ethan 13th for G-League, then Typical in 14th, Enzo scraping through as well, in the end by about 4.1 seconds, so not scraping through at all from the Frenchman's perspective, because this will be the only one actually to set a lap time that didn't get through. Your own Rev Caterpillar, Ogween and Yossi, 2 for F7R, 2 for NR, 2 for FBR even. Why am I even saying F7R, NVR, and 1 for Team Shizou out of Q1. As we now transition now into Q2, and the conditions are about to come up on your screen right now, and the conditions are exactly the same, maybe a little bit heavier rain.
Yeah, possibly. It didn't look like it was getting any heavier. To be fair, it looked like it was getting a bit lighter, but it looks like it might still be a bit of intermediate conditions. It's a bit slippery, if I have to say. At least it looks a little bit more of a greasier track than wet, which is a good sign. Possibly a bit of dry qualifying would be a nice way to end out. But this time, no 5 drivers will be eliminated from qualifying 2. Once again, no more qualifying bans to deal with. It is every driver for themselves. 2 ET8, 2 BRT, 2 OP, 2 F7R as well. Sam Gamer, really strong so far. Enzo as well. Ended up doing really well near the back of it, but Sam Gamer easily looking like one of the fastest on track. But that Marcados late on top of qualifying 1, it's got to be a confidence booster coming into this qualifying 2 session as well. But for the likes of FRT, for the likes of ETA, they've got to get through in the Q3 and just try and see if they can battle for a little bit more points than usual.
Yeah, definitely. So it is going to be really intriguing as well to see how the drivers cope, whether or not they're going to go for multiple runs. It looks like we're getting the first action out on track very soon. It looks like one of the Alpines, in fact, it's Enzo coming out first. I'm on board with them, luckily. So Enzo is going to be the first man out on track very soon. G-League have had their highs, they've had their lows this season as well. But Enzo looking to try and provide a good result, of course, for G-League. Ethan as well alongside him, of course, the team that have now got GL Gilles in the famous line, of course, of the French outfit. And G-League have, as I say, had their highs, had their lows. Remember, coming into tonight as well, in terms of the actual standings, that 8th position, 148 points. They are now, 30 points behind to be announced in 4th. It's still so close in that mid-pack, out on track loss, that one mistake from any of these teams could let G-League in completely.
Yeah, absolutely. They know themselves how tight this championship battle in the midfield really is. Obviously, G-League really not far away from them at all. Shazoo and NLR need to keep scoring points, and they need to just keep doing their best, see what they can do. Because as you said, if G-League just have a good race once or twice, they can jump up even high as 6th place. That's only 1 place behind BRT, who are in 5th place, with also only 3 points ahead of them, though, to be announced. But obviously, to be announced are one of the strongest teams on this grid. They'll be looking to score more points today, probably try and move themselves up into 3rd place ahead of Novice Racing, who've had, I guess you could say, quite a fall off. F7R of some rebranding from PSR, and they've adopted a lot of good results. Kane, 2 wins in a row, being one of them. Another podium as well. Can Kane make it 3 podiums? Actually, no, he can't even here. Sorry, that is my fault. Kane would have been able to make it 3 podiums in a row if he was here. Obviously, not here now. So. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes for S7R. Airpic last week not scoring points, being one of the biggest headlines of last week, but still S7R have got to try and gain an OP this week at least.
Yeah, definitely. So, and with, obviously, because there's out of qualifying as well, Volakongan's got to try and gain positions as well. Volakongan is actually the first man out on track, and he was setting a 27-2 in the first sector, so not at all bad from Volakongan's perspective. He's now coming in towards the right-handers of turn 8 and 9, and then in towards, of course, the hairpin at turn number 10. But Volakongan looking to try and provide a good result out on track. Bass saying in the chat it's going to dry up right at the end of the session. So at the end of Q2, I think that might be. It's going to dry up right at the end. It's a good middle sector again from Volakongan. Purple out of everyone. He's the first man out on track, which is why he's showing purple in all of the sectors. He's going to get a little bit impromptu slipstream potentially from the Mercedes. Not quite, though. He's got a Haas in front of him, maybe hitting a bit of traffic in towards the wall of Champion Chicane. But Volakongan now embarking in toward the wall of Champion Chicane. Through the right-hander 13, through the left-hander at turn number 14. Looking very, very nicely done indeed. It's going to be quicker than what we've seen as well in Q1. A 16-7 to start off the night for Volakongan in Q2. Not a bad lap. Track improving all the time.
Yeah, track getting better and better and better. The Mercedes just turned off his lap. That's Armateo behind him with the Alpha Tauri. I believe that is going to be Tales crossing the line. He hasn't validated, so he's actually on an outlap. The game telling me absolute lies. GL Ethan crossing the line next, 17.3 for him. You can see the pace difference between Ethan and Volakongan so far. The Red Bull of Enzo crossing the line. He can finally get a valid lap in early on. Enzo crossing the line. Only a 17.1, still at least 4/10 off of Shazoo Volakongan up ahead so far. Hazara into the final corner now for ETA. Can they see if they can find themselves a part of qualifying 3 for one of the first times this season? Been really struggling for them to get through. Hazara only up into 4th place with a 17.4. More drivers coming in now. Marcados not breaking that 16 barrier again. Joe Murphy though, 16.491. That is definitely one you want to be beating early on. GL Enzo just on off his lap there. Their other Red Bull car, Sam Gamer, struggling it seemed out that final corner. He crossed the line though in 5th place for Sam Gamer.
Yeah, 17.1. I'm guessing he's on a used set of compound tyre, which is why he's a little bit slower than what Joe Murphy is setting. Maybe on a fresh set on the intermediate condition tyres. Joe Murphy out on top, Gabor in second. BRT need to take a photo because it lasts longer. It's a 1-2 currently for BRT in Q2 with 5 minutes gone. Mateo's on the run to the line. He was setting quick middle sectors as well. Mateo to the line goes fourth, 16.9. So about a good lap time from him. Ryan as well has just done up on a lap. We see another improvement as well. I think that was Markedos there going into 5th position. Enzo was on a lap as well for G League in the French team's outfit in towards the right hand of turn number 10 at the hairpin. Looking to try and get a good result on the board. 46.9 though in the middle sector suggests to me he's on a used set of tyres, and that squiggle in towards the entrance into the hairpin suggests to me he's on a used set of tyres as well. But Joe Murphy out on top, Gabor there in second, BRT cooking early on in Q2, Volakongan there in third, the Soul Man there still left in for Shazoo, then it's Mateo, Markedos, Endo, Sam Gamer, Ethan, Hazara, Harvey top 10, then the 5 currently out would be Tales, Enzo, Typical, Ryan and Marlon. However, 4 of those drivers have not set lap time so far, and Enzo was setting a lap time right now. In fact, he's not because he invalidated through the wall of Champion chicane.
Ryan is just finishing off his lap so far. A little bit of traffic ahead, but nothing that will stop him finishing off this lap. But the first chicane, a big snap on entry. He keeps it going, luckily, though. Might lose a little bit of time due to that bit of oversteer. He's caught it nicely, though. Ryan across the line. Not his fastest lap either. 17.6. But, as you said, there's a possibility that they are on some old tyres. Nope. Ryan goes for a spin, just to add on to that pretty poor qualifying lap. Not his best, not his worst. Tales though still goes on with his lap as he's still going. Marlon as well, as you said, just crossing the line. Now can Marlon be the next one across? He does, fourth for NLR. Marlon 16.8, no slipstreams this time for him. He carries on with the rest of his stuff. Tales though down in 13th so far. As you said, Enzo invalidated through the wall of champion chicane. That's a tough one for him. FRT Typical on his out lap finally now, and Shizou Volakongan already back out as well.
Yeah, you mentioned there as well, Marlon not actually getting slipstream. He did get slipstream again from Tales. So NLR, double qualifying ban, double slap race. They're going to be sent to the Tower of London, I think, at this rate on Halloween, which is not the place you want to be, certainly. But Joe Murphy out on top, Gabor there in second, Volakongan there in third, Marlon there in fourth, 16.8. A second time that we've seen slipstreaming so far. Frankie mentioned in the chat they're taking a qualifying ban anyway, so at this point, as Joe Murphy goes quicker with a 16.2, so about a good lap time there at all from the BLT, man. Very good lap time indeed. Gabor there in second, Volakongan there in third. Mateo is improving as well. He's 10th down actually in that first sector, but he's looking now in towards the right-hander of turn number 11. Joe was saying in the chat, so everyone say pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. Yeah, maybe say it 3 times and then we'll get Enzo's Ghost coming back out potentially. But Mateo is there in 6th position, down in the middle sector, but he is still improving potentially on this lap. He's got a low fuel load even, so that means he's going to try and carry that a little bit of speed. And speaking actually, he's just run out of fuel coming in towards the Baller Champion chicane, so that is him out of the session. And I'm riding on board actually with Mateo. It is still raining, but it is very light, the rain. It's not really impacting on the track surface. What might impact on the track surface, though, is improving conditions, and Enzo is certainly going to be one that's going to try and get on the improving conditions all the time. 8th position for him currently. G-League, the to-be-announced team's man, coming through the left hand of turn number 4, then through the left of turn 5 and 6, of course, where we had Hartley and Stroll famously in 2018. But a 300 top improvement from Enzo in that first sector, not looking too bad at all, and looking to try and provide to be announced again with a good result like last week in Bahrain.
Yeah, that would really give a boost for the team. FRT Typical coming towards the end of his lap. Now he's going to see we can eye up a little bit better than P15 so far. He had a bit of a snap into that hairpin, but he's had a good little final corner there. Typical across the line now. Can he break into higher places? He can. 9th place so far. 17.2. Not his fastest time either. We seen him to a 17.0 during the start of qualifying one. Maybe that snap at the hairpin has cost him a lot of time there. But Enzo back out as well. Tales, OP Ryan, FRT Harvey, and Hazara all in the drop zone so far. But BRT Joe Murphy and BRT Gabor, what a start for Bunga Racing Team. They're having a fantastic start to this qualifying too. Volakongan just finishing off his lap as always, 2/10 up. Can he be the one to triumph to the top once again? Beat Joe Murphy for that top spot in qualifying too. He comes through the Waller Champion chicane now, keeps it really clean and attacks the curbs nicely too. He comes in, one final thing towards this line, 5 minutes 40 left in the session. Volakongan across the line, only a 0.3 for Shizou Volakongan, but I believe, James, that should be enough to see him through.
Oh yeah, definitely. 800s off the back of Joe Murphy. He'll be very, very happy with that. Shizou definitely cooking early on. Everyone as well going to be on the fresh compound of tyres, so it is going to be seen potential improvements as we go through the session. Typical is on a lap as well. He's actually low on fuel, so I'm not sure if he's actually going for a run or if he's just backing off one. It seems like he is going to go for this run and then back off potentially on his final run. Turns right into the wall of champion chicane. It's not looking like a bad lap at all, actually, from Typical, because the FRT man's going to come toward the line. It should be around a 16.8, I think. 16.9, not a bad lap, but he actually ran out of fuel towards the end of that lap as well. Ran out of ERS as well, but Typical there, 8th position. Given another ERS at the end of the lap, I think it would have been a 16.8 quite spot on, and the FRT man looking good so far. Harvey just starting up on his lap as well, coming through turns 1 and 2, and Enzo with a 21.7 in the first sector. So again, a good first sector, matching Volokongan in that first sector on his previous lap. But Joe Murphy out on top, Volokongan second, Gabor in third, getting to the nitty-gritty now here in Q2 as Harvey's through the first sector, 21.9, 2 tenths slower than Enzo in the first.
Yeah, slower than Enzo so far for Harvey, but that isn't too bad because he only has 2 tenths off, and if he can just gain that bit more time on his lap, it'll move him out of the drop zone and hopefully get out of qualifying, into qualifying 3, for FRT, who have really struggled all season long in getting into qualifying 3. So hopefully this can be the one for them. Typical up in P8 so far, improvement for him, a 16.9, but everyone behind. The likes of Marco, the likes of Ryan, the likes of Enzo, all have got a good qualifying lap in them. Sorry about that, FRT Harvey. There he comes in towards the final part of the track. A bit of traffic ahead of him though. Hopefully he doesn't get blocked as he comes on down here. FRT Harvey down this long straight. We'll see a lot of DRS training if it is dry in this race, but towards the final corner he comes in at the wall of champions. The right and the left hander taken nicely. The Haas car soon across the line soon. Can he be the one to triumph out with P13? He crosses the line now. He is out, but only into P11. Not enough to move him at the drop zone yet.
Yeah, it's not enough to get him into Q3 either, I think, with that lap time. 17 flat. If that's really his best, he's going to be very much under pressure from everyone in behind. Ethan, Hazara, Ryan, and Tales. I know for a fun fact, Tales and Ryan even will definitely improve. Hazara, Ethan, questions about them, but they, I'm sure, will improve as well. Markados is on a lap right now, coming through the right-hand of turn number 6, then in towards the left-handers of 7 and 8, but a 21.7 in that first sector, not looking too bad at all. Life out there saying in the chat, don't slipstream them, buddy. What do you mean, snitch? I mean, it's so obvious, we have to snitch on you. I was covering the action out on track, so if you want to call anybody a snitch, it's me. But then again, I'm more like the Grinch here tonight. But Markados coming to the left-hander of turn number 9 is becoming in towards the end of this middle sector, on board with the German, and his middle sector, 45.9. Quickest middle sector I've seen so far out on track. Looking good so far for the German as he comes nicely out of the hairpin at turn 11. Through the kink of 12, running now down in towards the wall of champion chicane. This infamous chicane which cost Schumacher, Villeneuve and Hill in a qualifying session in 1997, the year I was born, believe it or not. Markados now in towards the right-hander of 13, through the left-hander of 14, taking the curb nicely through the final corner, on the run to the line. Might even be the quickest lap we'll see tonight. Markados to the line, a little bit shy of that, 16.4, but a good lap nonetheless. OP will be happy. He might as well retire on track. His job's done.
Yeah, no, Markados will easily be through with that one. So is Volokongan, and Joe Murphy seen already has also just called it in there as well. FRT Harvey going back, I believe, no, sorry, he's not even going to go again. He is finished for this session. FRT Harvey will not be able to get another lap, and he is out of qualifying. 2 GL Ethan carrying on the rest of his lap. Tales as well, 3.5 tenths up is Tales. I believe it might be not pushing, he is actually pushing, sorry, never mind, he burned his ERS later on his lap towards the end of sector 2, 6 tenths up, a 17.2, it still isn't enough to remove him from the bottom spot, but if he gains a bit more time at the last corner, it could be really crucial for him getting out of qualifying 2 for NLR. Obviously already been given slipstream, so qualifying bans possibly on the way for NLR, but Tales though, there he comes in, the final corner now to attack. If he keeps this going, he will easily be through to qualify 3. I would presume if he has enough time in the final sector. Through he comes in, he does it nicely all the way through the final corner now. Tales for NLR across the line. It's P6 and a 16.8. James, I'm not sure that's enough.
I'm not sure that's enough either. Hazara has actually backed off on his run. Look, he's got a minute left, so they have got time to go on for final runs. Enzo's certainly looking good to get him into Q3. He's 2.5 tenths up now into the wall of champion chicane, through the right hand of 13, through the left hand of 14. Now on the run to the line then with Enzo, the G League man, looking to try and get through. He will get through. It's a 16.5. Good lap time there from Enzo. Remember, the times actually around this track are about 3 tenths slower than what you're actually seeing on our screen. So that's why Enzo's a 16.5. I thought he was more 16.2, 16.3. In terms of that lap time, they haven't fixed it. It's a typical Cody's glitch. It's Joe Murphy out on top, though, from Volakongan in second. Marketo starting up another lap there in third. Ryan there in sixth. He's going to be one of the final guys to come across the line. Sam Gamer, though, was on a lap, coming out through the final corner. The Canadian at his home Grand Prix nearly hits the wall of champions on the run toward the line then with Sam Gamer. Is he going to go quickest? Yes, he does, and he absolutely obliterates everyone. 15.9, the home hero out on top in Q2. Maybe not for long, but Sam Gamer's out on top, and if there's anybody that deserves a win around here, it's the home hero himself.
Yeah, no, really good there from Sam Gamer. 15.9 shows how much the track is really ramping up now. FRT Harvey, though, I don't think he has enough VRS to really improve. FRT Typical spun on his lap. GL Ethan also put it in the wall. Early on in sector 1, Mateo also pushes on along with Hazara. They've got to try and push to get out of this drop zone. Enzo Sum, though, up there in P7 now. I believe he's now through. Tales and Marlon, big risk for the two NLR drivers. You see Mateo carrying on the rest of his lap. Hazara as well. He may be getting blocked, though, by the FRT driver. Hopefully not. He comes on down the straight now. Mateo has got to improve P2 by 16.9. Seems fast, but you got to find at least a 10th in this final sector to improve himself enough to get out of the drop zone. It'll put NLR possibly down into a 12-11 position now, along with Tales and Marlon. But Mateo, through the final corner he comes in. Can it be him to be the one that crosses the line first? Going to give a little bit of a slipstream here by the FRT driver ahead. Mateo across the line now. Can he be the one to jump to the top of the session? Not the top, but it is P9 and through to qualifying 3. Can Lazara follow up his teammate and be through to qualifying 3 as well? Yes, he can. He rates it, and a 16.2 for ETA. It's a double ETA Q3.
And look at who that puts out. NLR in Q2. Tales only 400ths of a second separating Mateo and Tales in the end in the danger zone. Marlon only 1100ths behind his teammate as well. NLR, that is what you get for slipstreaming, my friends. Typical there in 13th along with FRT Harvey, also out. G-League's Ethan also out, but Enzo doing a fantastic job for G-League. The other Enzo as well for 2B announced there in 8th position. That's going to be interesting if them two are on the same positions on the grid. But Sam Gamer out on top, Hazara there in second, Joe Murphy there in third, and I'm looking through the drivers that we've got and the teams that we've got actually. OP, as far as I'm concerned, apart from BRT, I think, are the only two teams that have actually got 2 drivers in. Those and to be announced. Those 3 teams are the... Oh, no, actually, ET8 have got it. Ignore what I'm saying. 4 teams have got both of their drivers in. G-League's got one, and Enzo, and the other one being Shazoo Volakongan.
Yeah, surprise. Only one Shazoo driver in. Route to big mistakes. Sorry, Kazizo, big mistakes in qualifying 1. That is another one. Not too sure what has gone on down there, but Sam Gamer, what a lap in the end, you said, for the home hero. 15.9 for the Canadian. And the Norwegian Noah Hazara, 16.2, beating his earlier Norwegian compatriot Zuval Kongen, who's down in P4. Joe Murphy eating in 3rd, Marketos 5th, gap or 6th, Enzo 7th, Enzo in 8th. Sorry, 2 Enzos, GL Enzo 7th, Enzo Sum 8th, OP Ryan 9th, Armour Tail in 10th, and Tales Marlon, typical. Ethan and Harvey all eliminated and qualifying 2. I tell you what, James, I do not know who's going to get pole in this qualifying 3 session.
Neither do I. It's so wide open, I think, in terms of this. We've got specialists, though, like Mateo, who loves the intermediate condition types. We've got Joe Murphy, who loves the inters as well. Both of them specialists, I think, within the inters. Both of them going to be interesting to see how they get on. Harley, by the way, mentioned in Discord, in terms of this, their engineer, NLR's engineer, isn't able to join after qualifying. So that is why it's been now controlled and coordinated by the drivers. So if there's anybody to blame from the NLR side in terms of the streaming, it is the drivers, whichever one that might be. It might both of them, it may just be one, but NLR certainly going to be getting a slap on the wrist as a result. But we're going through into Q3, and unlike what Bass said a little bit earlier on, it's going to dry towards the end of the session. It's dry already out on track now. We're going to get soft running for the first time tonight, which puts everyone now on tenderhooks to see who's going to be going quickest. I'm instantly looking at now, because the conditions have changed, Marketers, Sam Gamer, and potentially Joe Murphy for the top 3.
Yeah, definitely. Good shouts there, James. I can see already, Bastel's Matteo was 5 tenths down after Sector 1. So he must have had an absolute flying Sector 2 and Sector 3 to get through into qualifying 3. So fair play to Matteo and bringing that one back. But out early, though, the Mercedes car, actually, of Matteo, as we're talking about him, soft tyre equipped onto that Mercedes car. The first time we've seen some dry tyres today. You can see, though, James, still a little bit of spray on track.
Yeah, there is a little bit of spray on track. It's nothing too severe. Saying that, Mateo's just respawned coming out of the pit lane at turn number 2. But that's why at least he's out on track and not me and you, Ross, because put it this way, I would be struggling even for a little bit of grip, let alone on medium traction and all assist that I use, but I don't. I only use medium traction control. But it is very difficult for these drivers out on track. It may take a little bit of time for the track to really evolve. It is soft compound tyres, but as soon as they get the rubber down on the track, it's going to be game time. And the Super Bowl, potentially, for these guys out on track. It's going to be very, very intriguing to see how the drivers get on. Plenty of tricks, plenty of treats in store here for Q3 in Legacy Division. If you are just tuning in, 99 of you tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in, each and every one of you. If you're enjoying the stream, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel, and tick that notification bell if you want to be, of course, kept up to date with what is going to be happening. We go on a break week, of course, after this week. The 11th round of the championship will come in 2 weeks' time, and that, of course, is going to be in Zandvoort, in the Netherlands. So, Matteo, just about to start up on his run. I will let you take this away, Ross, as he comes now through the wall of championship chicane.
I would absolutely love to, James. I'm Matteo then. Through into Q3, I've been 5 tenths down in that first sector. It was quite a spectacle into turn 1 he comes in. A really tight left-handed apex for you early on. A really fast twitch to the right-hand side of turn number 2. This long right-hander all the way at a good traction zone to gain as much as possible down towards turn number 3 and 4. Now a fast right, a bit of a slide almost there on the rear heading towards turn number 4. Through number 5 he comes in. The end of sector 1 at 21.0, so you have a little bit of faster time coming in now for Matteo on the dry compound tyre. Turn 7, this long right-hander. He'll see a big snap on the exit of turn number 7 there, but he carries on with this lap. DRS finally enabled on the straight at turn number 8 then. Close to the left-hand side curve there, turn number 9. Carries on through. Really nice with Matteo. He's had a really clean lap so far. A bit of a snap there in turn number 7, but not much that'll lose him a lot of time at 44.6 at sector 2. Split purple in the middle, as you would expect. He carries on down through at turn number 10 then, and turn 11, the short little kick to the left, and through he comes in down towards turn 13 and 14, the wall of championship came, one of the most famous corners. Drivers love to have a little bit of a bend there on the right hand side into that wall. Matteo will carry on with this lap really, really nicely indeed. Through he comes in, turn 13, turn 14, come at you so fast. He took it well, bit of grass on exit, nothing that'll stop him from crossing the line. The Matteo crossed the line, the fastest time we've seen, a 14.3 from Matteo in 88.
Yeah, and of course, with the dry conditions still coming alive, this track will evolve as Joe Murphy there goes 5 tenths quicker than him, so 13.8. We should be seeing times in and around the 110s, 109s, I think, towards the end of the session, maybe even quicker than that. But Murphy, though, out on top. Matteo there in second. The 2Ms currently could be a third M, potentially going to be on the grid as Markadels now comes in toward the final couple of corners. Gabor as well is coming through the final corner, 44.6 in that middle sector. So matching actually what Matteo was setting to the line, goes a 10th quicker than him. So Gabor there currently BRT 1-2 right now in Q3. Enzo just starting up on a run. Markadels though is next to come across the line in the Ferrari. Ryan's behind him as well for Outplayed Racing, looking to try and outplay the opposition. Are they going to? To go now through the final couple of corners with Markadels on the run toward the line. A 13.859 to beat, and it is a 14.214 for Markadels. Slower than Gabor. Ryan invalidated a 13.6 by the way, so he would have gone quicker than Joe Murphy, but he invalid through the wall of champion chicane. So Ryan there backing off. Enzo now on a lap. G-League's Enzo on a lap. 44.2 in the middle sector, so he's definitely quicker than Markadels and Matteo coming through that part of the corner. That is a bit of lag on his end, not on my end. Luckily, as he now comes through the final corner on the run to the line, and Enzo there goes second. It's Joe Murphy out on top though, Enzo there in second, Gabor there in third, as Harvey has left the session, so hopefully that's not going to cause a knock-on effect for Q3.
Yeah, hopefully nothing major comes from that. But yeah, James, got to say that wet spray has fully gone now. It's a full dry track. Everyone can now pull flat out all the way towards the final part, qualifying 3. Now we've got Volakong and Sam Gamer, Hazara, Enzo also all out on their out laps. Now hopefully they can get some good laps in. As you said, 13.6 is on for OP. Ryan and Validation no cost him that lap. Jesus Volakong though, not a man to write out for a bit of a pole position shout either as he comes through this final corner now. Starting off his first flying lap on the dry set of tyres. Everyone's got a full fresh set of tyres, 4 sets if it's really necessary, but probably only about 2 or 3 will be needed. Volakong though, just starting off his lap. Sam Gamer and also Hazara starting off soon as well.
Yeah, definitely so. Joe mentioned in the chat, well done on restart part 10. Could be that way. His Xbox crashed apparently though, so overheating I think maybe in terms of this. 20.6 though from Volakongan, definitely cooking on this first sector. 20.6 from him. Looking now through the right-hand return 6 and 7. Very nicely done indeed as we run aboard the Norwegian on the run in towards the chicane, the next chicane of turns 8 and 9. Looking good as he comes now through the left-hand return number 9 on the exit now in towards the hairpin of turn number 11. It's Joe Murphy there out on top, Menzel there in second, Gabor there in third, at 43.8 in the middle sector from him. James there saying, the other James in the chat saying, what did I dress up for as Halloween? I've already got my mask on already. I hope you guys have as well, but Joe Murphy out on top. Menzo in second, Volakongan looking to try and provide a good lap time here, the Norwegian, for Shazoo. The sole Shazoo man, with Kazizzle knocked out in Q1, having to put all the weight of his team's shoulders on him. So now comes through the left-hand return 14, on the run to the line then with Volakongan. Should be easily quicker than Joe Murphy. And it is. It's a 13.1, 5 tenths quicker. Actually, no, even quicker, 7 tenths quicker. Volakongan out on top. Track evolving all the time. As Sam Gamer gets close to the wall, coming out of turn 9 in towards the hairpin. And it's a 43.7 in the middle sector from Sam Gamer, the hometown hero.
Yeah, Sam who comes in just down this long straight now. How good is his straight line speed? Is he running low enough wings to really try and get that speed up to margin? We should be hitting around 203 miles an hour. Should be something around about that. Sam hitting around 205 miles an hour on his dash. He carries on down the straight. Oh, validation through that final part of the track, crucial for him. What the time would have been, it would have been a 12.9, a P2 there for Sam Gamer if he didn't invalidate. Hazara though carries on with the rest of his lap through the final corner. He goes, can he not invalidate? He doesn't invalidate, but he goes safe through that final corner. A bit of a snap on exit for the Mercedes. Can he be the one to beat Enzo soon to pole position? No, he can't, but it is a P2 anyway. A 12.8. This time is ticking and ticking down for absolutely everyone.
Yeah, it's Zoom for Enzo right now. Yeah, I'm down with the kids and all that, but it's Enzo out on top of Hazara second. Volakongan there in third. I don't know where that came from, to be honest, but 4 minutes ago in the session, drivers haven't got a lap time on the board. Ryan and Sam Gamer. Ryan has looked quick in the intermediate. Sam Gamer looked quick on his lap before he invalidated. So they have got definite improvements in on their laps. They've got one more chance to set another run on the board. And they've got to get really competitive into around the 111s, 112s, I think, is what we're looking at for pole position. Maybe a little bit quicker as the session goes on. But it's Enzo out on top for to be announced. From Hazara there in second for ET8. ET8 doing a fantastic job, of course, with Hazara. Their other man in Matteo currently down in P8 out on track. So Matteo looking to try and cook in terms of his lap time. Volakongan, then Joe Murphy, then Enzo top 5. Then it's Gabor Marcados, who's a bit of a shock there, down in 7th position. Watch out for him in the session. Matteo there and 8th, then Ryan in 9th, and then Sam Gamer rounding off the top 10. Myself, James Head, The Count, and Mr. Frankenstein himself, Ross Greenhorn, joining me alongside in the commentary box for tonight. But 3 minutes ago in the session, Ross, going to be very interesting to see who has a trick up their sleeve and who can give us a treat.
Yeah, we're really interested to see who can pull this off. Enzo looking strong already, but I tell you what, James, the track is getting drier and drier and drier. We should be seeing the low 11s come into play really soon. 2 minutes and 50 left of the session. Drivers are going to be trying to eye up that one final attempt at a pole position. Sam Gamer, no time for him so far. Ryan, no time. Marcados in a P7. Gabor, P6. Joe Murphy in P4. Volakongan, Hazara and Enzo currently your top 3. Will that stay the same? Let's all find out. The both Mercedes cars and Marcados and Ryan making their way out the pit. It's now the other French driver of GL Enzo coming out as well. This pit lane is getting busy. James, who's going to get pole position?
Honestly, I'm going to put it Sam Gamer. I know he's there in 10th position right now, and I know he hasn't set a lap time on the board, but Sam Gamer has got something special potentially in his locker. So I'm going to go him for pole position, and I'm even going to predict top 3. Ryan for second, and Joe Murphy for third.
Very good, very, very good. I'm going to back Sam Gamer in taking that pole position. I think it'll be Sam Gamer first. I think it'll be Volakong in second, and Enzo will be third place, is what I think so far. But that first sector is getting really, really busy. The only car not out on track, though, is Hazara, surprisingly enough. Not sure what's going on down at ET8, leaving it as late as possible. He now makes his way out of the pit lane, but
oh no!
Oh no.
You
Well then.
You
Joseph, you jinxed it. World Online restart part 10 is inbound. That's probably going to be a restart after this. Sam Gamer picks up a 5 place, a grid drop, sorry, after blocking another driver, which is very unfair because he didn't mean it, of course. You see everyone getting bunched up now for the one final lap, but then the Ferrari of Ferrari of OP Ryan, though, will outhead the rest.
Yeah, definitely. So Ryan is the first man out on track. We are going to be restarting anyway, so it is definitely going to be a restart regardless, and I'm not sure what that restart's actually for. It looks like potentially screen freezing in terms of some of the lap times and some of the managers chat that is going through on Discord right now. But OP Ryan, the first man out on track, looking to be OP in terms of his run. Take it very slowly indeed, actually, in toward the WOR champion chicane. He'll back up now into the final couple of corners, like a safety car restart almost. That's from Ryan's perspective. Comes in toward the WOR champion chicane. Eventually he'll get there under his own volition. Now he accelerates, and now he comes in toward the WOR champion chicane once again. We'll run a ball with this lap. We'll turn the timing tower on the left-hand side just so you can keep up to date with what drivers are going on. Harvey, though, because he disconnected, and Mateo's picked up another 5-place grid penalty, so would be a knock-on for a restart anyways. Right in towards the right-hand of turn number 2, though. Then in towards the right and left of turns 3 and 4. Famously where Vettel and Hamilton, 2019, remember, went on the grass through there. Ryan coming through this first sector split. Remember, 21 flat in the first sector, 19.9. That's more like it. In the first sector, as now he comes through the right-hander of turn number 7 and in towards the next chicane of turns 8 and 9. Second DRS zone, of course, now in effect. The third restart, the third DRS zone, of course, around this track. One down the long back straight, nearly a kilometre long back straight in towards the WOR champion chicane. Ryan in this middle second, though, 42.5, absolutely obliterating what we've seen so far as he now comes in towards the right-hander of the hairpin. Nearly Tokyo drifts coming through the hairpin indeed, but Ryan's on a very good lap here, looking to try and provide a very, very good standing point for OP in this session. With everyone now on their laps, it is pretty much game over for anybody that might be invalid, as Ryan now comes in towards the right-hander of turn number 13, through the left-hander of 14, flicks the car left. Nicely done from Ryan on the run to the line, should be quicker than Enzo. And he is. It's a 12th lap. Not a bad lap that time there at all from him. Just seeing who's next up on the line. I think it's Enzo on the run to the line. He now goes quicker than 111.4. Enzo's 9/10 up as well. He's coming in toward the final couple of corners. The other man for 2B announced. Now in toward the final corner. He's 9/10 up. Looking to try and provide a good result. Bullakongan goes quickest. Enzo slots into second position. 800 down on the end. Sam Gamer's only second. Can Gabor do this? He's back in the pit lane. Joe Murphy nearly did, but he hasn't. And it's Bullakongan out on top. His first pole position, I think, ever in Legacy Division. Shazoo out on top. Kazizel led down in 16th. Absolutely washed. And it's Bullakongan, the Norwegian, out on top by 14 hundredths of a second over Joe Murphy.
What a finish to qualifying. Laps on laps for Bullakongan. What a lap in the end for the Team Shazoo driver. First place for him starting on the grid. Joe Murphy, in second. Sam Gamer in third. Enzo Soom in fourth. GL Enzo in behind him in fifth. Hazara sixth. OP Ryan seventh. Gabor eighth. Markados in ninth. Markados actually was at 1.9 seconds up on his wet time, but he invalidated once again through that final part of the track. Mateo, 10th place for him. I'm sure he won't be too bothered about that one, but what a lap from Volakong, 11.0 on a, still a moderately wet track. Still very good lap though. Volakong on pole, Joe Murphy third, Joe Murphy second, Sam Gamer in third.
Yeah, going to be very interesting to see how everyone copes in terms of the conditions out on track, if it's a dry race or not. You will find out very shortly, but for now, we're going to take a slight intermission break from our sponsors, Next Level Racing, and, of course, GridFinder. We will be back with you in a few minutes' time. Welcome back, everyone, to WOR Legacy Division on this fine Halloween evening. Even my name is James Head, of course. Ross Greenhorn alongside me in the commentary box. And Ross, remember, coming into tonight, Outplayed Racing out on top, 344 points. F7O and second on 280. Didn't go, though, according to plan, in terms of the actual session, in terms of qualifying. Because Volokongan for Team Chazoo, who are currently 6th on 167 points, on pole position.
Yeah, no, that was something else for Team Shizou. Volokongan pulling it out in the end for his team. And well, you've got to say it was very, very good by them. He's pulled out a fantastic pole position, and really one of the tracks where getting pole is really helpful. It's not a track where overtaking is very fond of than down that big straight with DRS. And what we do know is a full dry race, so we will have DRS all the way, and hopefully we can have as many overtakes as possible and as clean as possible.
Yeah, definitely so. Avatar mentioning in the chat as well, and it's a very good point, this actually. There will be penalties in this race, 3-second cutting corners. Hard to predict the winner of this race, he says, and that's why Canada has tricky corners to get a quick warning. Yeah, definitely so. I've been around this track, I've driven around this track in a league race around here. Put it this way, and I ended up with 15 seconds worth of penalties at the end of this race. So Canada is one of those tracks which is going to be absolutely decisive in terms of the penalties, in terms of the overtaking as well. We've got 3 DRS zones, and it's going to be really intriguing, I think. In fact, we can actually look at the track map in question, so you need a reminder of this. 4.3 kilometers and then 2.7 mile here at the Albert Park Circuit in the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, or the Circuit Goules Villeneuve, for tonight. Plenty of uphill sections as well coming through the first part of the sector. Of course, around a man-made island, and with 14 turns and the Water Champion chicane to really dispose of, Canada is going to be one of those tracks where, Ross, everything is to play for. Not only with track, not only with penalties, but also tyre wear, and also potentially the tyres making it a 2-stop race.
Yeah, I mean, a two-stop is definitely one of the main factors of this race. Is it going to be a big two-stop? Is it going to be a hard, medium, soft? Are you going to do a soft medium? I mean, what is the strategy you're going to do? Obviously, everyone now has fresh tyres of the way, no use set of dry tyres at all. So if it is a two-stop, you would suggest some sort of soft, medium, soft, medium, maybe a hard tyre as well. I'm not sure. I've never really done this track before, or ever really commentated on this track before. So whatever they pick, it's got to be good, because they've got to get it right. Otherwise, you can be in big, big trouble.
Yeah, definitely so. Looking actually through in terms of the what's going on in the chat right now, looks I'm not sure if that's a joke or potentially FRT potentially going back to P11. I think that's a little bit of a banter moment that our WOR Legacy Division coordinator, Mr. Luke Humphreys, is doing there in the Discord. But we are getting ready up for everyone. We can actually transition now into the lobby. Everyone is just beginning to ready up. But we are going to get going very soon out on track 4, what is promising to be, maybe, if the standards are clean, one of the races of the season. And Canada certainly provides the action. You have just got moments to wait for the Canadian Grand Prix. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix here tonight at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who you think your top 3 is, and who you think's the one to watch out for further down. And I'm immediately going to turn attention, of course, to F7R, 17th and 20th on the grid. Yossi and, of course, Yaron. How are we now gonna, because we haven't seen them, of course, out on track along with the MVR boys, how on earth do we get a grip of where they're at in terms of their overall pace, judging because we haven't actually seen them out on track and they've got fresher tyres to compare to everyone else?
Yeah, it really is going to be interesting to see what they choose. You know, whatever the site of whatever Volokongan and Joe Murphy chooses, pretty much what the majority of Grid will probably choose as well. It needs to be a little bit of a strategic way of doing this. Also, we do have to remember F7R, Yaroon and Yossi starting at the back along with MVR, teams in 2 and 3, all the way at the back, having a big thing to do. MVR have the sub in late. Rev Caterpillar to do this race after an MVR Nick dropout. Yossi and Yaroon also coming in late for them last night as well. So, yeah, really tough ask for S7R and MVR. But, yeah, see people in the chat saying there will be penalties in this race. Yeah, 3-second penalties are very hard to avoid at a track where the curves are really low and you don't really realise you're cutting track limits.
Yeah, definitely. So, going to be very intriguing in seeing how everyone copes with the trials and tribulations. We saw the weather forecast before, by the way. It is going to be a dry race. It is going to be sunny towards the end of the race as well. So, no rain forecast in this race, which is good because we don't want any more of that wet stuff here in Canada. Not like a 2011 where it was washed out and then we had overtaking and then it was a 4.5 hour race. And then Jenson Button won against Sebastian Vettel after spinning the course through turn 6 and 7. Great day that was. One of the first races I actually watched in Formula One as well. So that was pretty decent to watch out for. But we are going to get going very soon indeed. Volokongan out on top. Gonna be very interesting to see how he gets off the start. Does he bog down off the start? Does he actually run down in towards turn 1 in front? You will see in a few moments' time when these drivers get going out on track. A final reminder, of course, in terms of the grid positions, in terms of the standings coming into tonight, it's Outplay Racing out on top on 344, F7R in second on 280, Novus Racing third on 191. Of course, they had qualifying bans, both their teams. To be announced in fourth on 176th, and Bunga Racing Team fifth on 173, Team Shazoo in sixth on 167, NLR in 7th on 151, G League 8th on 148, Partner Racing 9th on 142, then Future Racing Team in 10th on 83, ET8 in 11th on 80 points, then Nexus Racing Team, the defunct team, they're down in 12th position on 35 points. The drivers are being told to ready up at 28, so around about a minute's time, we'll get the lights going green. But OP out on top, 64-point advantage. They've got the advantage over F7R. Can they manage that advantage and turn it into a race win?
Yeah, I mean, it'll really be interesting to see what they can do with this strategy. You can see a couple of people picking up the hard tires off of the top 10, all on the hard. Thales and Marlon, though, on the soft and the medium compound of tire. Everyone else behind them, though, on the hard. So looking at the hard, it's a preferred tire strategy so far. So everyone will be starting on the hard compound tire. Will they do medium soft? Will it be a soft medium? Whatever happens, we've got to see what they do. Medium's looking like a good race tire as well. Maybe the softs have a little bit too high of wear to actually really do a race on.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to be intriguing. It's still overcast conditions, but it is dry for the start of the race here in Canada. The 5 red lights are going to be going out very shortly indeed. Drivers have been told to ready up. Hopefully we will get to see them readying up out on track. I'm impatient just as much as you guys are there at home watching the crowd already cheering there in the grandstand. And the pit lane be a buzz potentially at the end of lap 1 with maybe VSCs or safety cars as well to factor into the mix as well. Francesco saying, Jerome winning, and Bass Bramer saying in the chat, enjoy ET8 for this race just to see Matteo getting damaged. Let's hope not. Let's hope nobody gets damaged. Let's hope we get a good race, i.e. last night in PSGL PSF1, which was an absolutely phenomenal race in Japan. If you didn't tune in for that, go and watch these guys back. Some of these guys, of course, racing once again from that. And gonna be interesting. Here we go, though. The 5 red lights about to go out. Round 10 of the championship about to begin in WOR Legacy Division. And it is lights out and away we go. And Volokongan gets a strong start. But look at Sam Gamer right on the back of him. In towards turn 1. Might try and get a 3 wide in towards turn 1. But Joe Murphy leads through turn 1. The Irishman. Sam Gamer, the Canadian, looking to the inside on Volokongan through turn 2. There's a spinner in the background. That's Thales round already. And Typical has picked him a 5-second penalty for colliding with them. So clear collision at the back of the field. But Joe Murphy leads through 3 and 4. Sam Gamer there in second. Volokongan in third. Enzo there in fourth. Enzo and Gabor, however, side by side through the first part of the track. Still a little bit of desync going on for the G League, man. Ryan and Marcador side by side along with Matteo. Matteo's now trying to go side by side with Marcador's down the straight. Marlon in for this fight as well, running down in towards turns 8 and 9. But Joe Murphy leads. Sam Gamer second. Volokongan there in third. And Marcador's hangs out around the outside of Matteo. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful racing early on. But Joe Murphy already away in front by 6/10.
Yeah, Volokongan swallowed up on that race. A big move on the inside by Marlon and Matteo, making it two on the row from Marlon and Ryan and Marcadors. Really struggling there for some grip off the start. Matteo and Marlon making it work early on, and it looks like they have a bit more downforce going into that hairpin section. But Marlon, as you said, what a send on the inside. It was really clean, and yeah, he's got his move done up into P9 now. Gialitha's also on the back of Marcadors. Marcadors possibly picked up some damage early on, or is he just maybe struggling for a little bit of pace as he started the race now? But look at Ethan up the inside now. The most out to the outside line. Does he hang it all the way around the outside? He does, but he just will be able to keep the traction down ahead of Marcadors. Marcadors got a much better line for the corner, and Marcadors will keep P11 for now.
Yeah, definitely so, Ethan. They're still on the back of Markadors. Markadors, you're right, I think has dropped the pace. Maybe a little bit of damage, potentially. If it is, it's very light damage, because there goes Ethan to the inside line of turn 6 and 7. And look at the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo side by side as well. That's Yossi and Kazizel side by side, and Yossi gets the better of Kazizel through that part of the argument. Jeroen is side by side with Markadors down in towards turns 8 and 9. Good job from him. And Gabor is struggling now on the back of Enzo. Enzo through, and he's into 6 through the switchback, I think, coming out of the chicane. Ryan now behind on Marlon. Marlon making good ground and good inroads through the field as Jeroen now tries to go all the way around the outside on the back of Ethan, the Frenchman, and the Dutchman going side by side down the straight now, and it's Jeroen that comes out on top. He's through, and he's into 11th. Yossi now trying to fight as well. F7R are coming alive early on in these conditions with these sort of soft compounded tyres. That is them through and into 11th and 12th position. Phenomenal start by everyone. Taller's the only one with damage at the end of lap 1. BRT Joe Murphy leads. The homeboy hero of Sam Gamerson, the fastest lap of the race in second. He's now already putting Volokongan under pressure for a bit of DRS there.
Yeah, you can see 8 positions and 7 positions gained for Jeroen and Yossi. What a start for those guys for F7R. They are on the soft compound tyre, mind you, but they're making it work, and really it is counting early on, and that is what you need to do on the soft compound tyres. Get those moves done, and they're making it work perfectly. It's fair play of them. What a strategy call, and they're making it work from the back of the grid. Enzo still in 4th place, holding 5th, holding down 4th place. Volokongan from pole position down into 3rd place. Sam Gamer at 1, and Joe Murphy currently gapping off Sam Gamer. Ahead already. Enzo and Gabor right there with a good move for Enzo, keeping the P6 ahead of BRT. Gabor, Marlon may fancy his chances as well on the medium compound of tyre early on. They all come in at the hairpin though. Joe Murphy leads 7.5 tenths clear of Sam Gamer behind.
Yeah, definitely so. Really, really strong start to everyone. As I say, Taller's the only one that really made contact. Typical as well, picking up that 5-second penalty. Otherwise, very, very clean throughout the field. Standards of driving from last night clearly continuing on here so far in Legacy Division. It's Joe Murphy, though, that leads. Sam Gamer, though, on the back of him in towards turn number 1. He's got 10% of ERS left. That is how much left of ERS he's got left. Joe Murphy's got 27%, so double the amount of ERS right now. F7R looking like they're going to go softs, mediums. I think that might be the strategy potentially for them as well. Marlon, I think, is going to go mediums, softs, I think, in terms of his strategy. Everyone else on the set of hards, if they can go 20 laps like Gabor, not Gabor, Avatar was mentioned in the chat, that will be very good. It'll be very, very hard to do so, I've got to be honest, to see a set of hards go 20 laps around here. It is possible. One stop is possible around here. 35 laps though out on track, and the average tyre wear around a lap here, no matter what tyre you're on, is around 6%. So 6% drop off, 30% by the end of the 5 laps. Going to be very interesting to see who turns for what strategy and who comes into the pit lane when. Joe Murphy though leads, Sam Gamer second, Enzo's on the back of Volokongan for 3rd, and the Shazoo man's going to drop a position to be announced. 2nd and 3rd, actually, to be announced. Looking for the race lead with Sam Gamer, not going to get the job done. Maybe a sighter onto the back of Joe Murphy, the Irishman, but he leads down in towards turn number 1. Sam Gamer coming quickly, still on the back of him though, into turn 1, and remains as he is for 2nd.
Yeah, you see getting really, really close at their front there, matched each other on ERS as Sam Gamer and BRT Joe Murphy. Volokongan also matching those guys ahead.
Oh, Ryan's
Enzo having a really good OP. Ryan, you said, a bit of trouble there, dropping down at the P14 now from his teammate Kazizel getting through as well. Ryan and Markadors having a disaster for the current championship leaders. F7R must be absolutely loving this. MVR down in 17th and 18th, OP down in 13th and 15th. F7R given a massive opportunity now to gain some points on their close rivals. Yossi up 10 positions, Jeroen up 8 positions, Marlon up 5, everyone else ahead either up or down 1, Volokongan down 3 as well. But yeah, as you said, TBA currently a 2-3, but BRT Joe Murphy, if he keeps this calm, could be a fantastic win for Bunga Racing Team.
Yeah, definitely. So, looking through as well, in terms of the bit of contact, I think Jeroen went into the back, actually, of Ryan, I think, in towards turn number 1. So that's what led to the contact. That's what led to Ryan going off the track. So, no love lost between F7R and OP, put it that way. Joe Murphy leads the way, though. Sam Gamer second, Enzo there in 3rd. 2 men already cooking in terms of their strategies. Ryan is into the pit lane, has definitely got damage on that car, or he's just going for a split up in the strategy, maybe going medium compound tyres on the car. Joe Van Bussel saying it's around 6%, it's way less, it could well be around this track. Again, it's my first commentary round here, it's Ross's first commentary round here, but in the notes that I was doing, it's around a 6% tyre loss per lap in terms of, especially on a set of soft compound tyre, medium slightly less, hard even less. So around about an average of about 6% is what I came up with. Might be wrong. I might be just taking I might be just talking completely out of my back end. But Joe Murphy leads the way. Sam Gamer second. Enzo in third. Marlon on the back of Azar. Everyone in towards the hairpin, the Norwegian and the NLR man trying to go side by side. Around the outside goes the AlphaTauri. The Mercedes gives him room on the outside. This is going to be phenomenal traction for Marlon off the exit of the corner. And now running down the straight in towards turns 13 and 14. Slight lag back from Hazara, but it's going to be job done for Marlon. Surely he's on the outside line. He disposed of Hazara in toward the World Champion chicane, and that is Marlon Thuni's into fifth.
Yeah, good move there from NLR. Marlon had to use a bit of battery to confirm the manoeuvre, but Hazara is not out of it just yet. His hard tyres have been a little bit almost of a better window than the mediums ahead. Obviously, Marlon, the only man in the top 10 on mediums. Jeroen and Yossi on the 6-lap old soft tyres. Ryan just pit as well. I believe he had some damage from where he was on the track. He got his note on some medium tyres, and Tales also on some mediums as well. But yeah, outplayed racing. Really not a good start for them. Markle in 13th, Ryan in 19th. The safety car is really what they'll be begging for right in this very moment. Marlon, though, still carrying on near the back of Olacogan now, eyeing up P4.
Yeah, definitely so. Crispy asking in the chat what's happening to OP. Ryan had contact with Jeroen through turn number 1, and Marcos, I think, has got no pace currently. He's there in 13th position. He's trying to pick up a position. Enzo, though, on the back of Al Hazara is going to try and pick up this position. Looks towards the inside line into the hairpin. Typical with the first 3-second penalty of the night. That's typical from him. The FRT man there down in 18th position. Ryan, though, coming into the medium, coming into the pit lane, putting on a set of medium compound tyres. Going to be interesting to see how he gets on in terms of his strategy call. But Joe Murphy leading the way, but to be announced are really, really hammering on the back end of him. And in fact, actually, Sam Gamer makes a mistake. This is going to let Enzo in potentially for moving towards turn number 1. Thought they might have actually swapped the cars there, but Sam Gamer remains second. Enzo there in third. Remaining as they are for now. Marcos is side by side with Ethan in towards turn number 1. Marcos, the German, on the back of the Frenchman. They've got Matteo, the Italian, ahead of him. The EC8 man doing a good job right now, but Marcos there in 13th. And hunting in the background, you do not want a Shizuka Zizzle on the back end of you. Put it this way, 13th and 14th. Very good rivals, of course, in Qatar last season. Marcos and Kazizel looking to try and provide a good result here once again. But OP up against it so far. F7R having the advantage on them, 9th and 10th. But with those tyres, Ross, set of soft compound tyres, they're already going to be going off the cliff.
Yeah, I know the drop-off will be really, really soon for those mediums, and the hards won't be that far away either. But I feel like right now, TBA know exactly what they're doing. They've got Enzo with a full battery and behind Sam Gamer. Sam Gamer, all he has to do is stick in the DRS of Joe Murphy, cause him some trouble, and yeah, we know that TBA know how to get teamwork going. Also, Mexico was a one-off between Kai Pearson and Reese Linton, but you've seen it in Bahrain, that sprint race. They were absolutely phenomenal with each other.
My God!
You can see it there. Marcos is, I was thinking, what is going on between those two there? Marcos holds it though. Still a P10, but look at Ethan flying on down with a fantastic exit out of the World Champions chicane. There he goes at the P11, but he's going to hold the inside lane. No, it's Matteo's top round from the collision between himself and Ethan. Matteo now dropping down to P14.
And I think Ethan there had absolutely no fault at all. And I think Matteo's gone too deep on the brakes in towards turn number 1. He's overshot onto the outside curb and his car's got a bit twitchy. He's gone into the side, basically, of Ethan there. So unfortunate. Could have easily been avoided. Ethan gave him absolute good amount of room there. I think it's just Matteo losing the car control slightly, and that's what caused the incident. Ethan there in 11th, Kazizel there in 12th. Certainly going to be going to the stewards, but from my perspective, certainly, looking at that, Yossi, by the way, came into the pit lane, onto a set of medium compound tyres. So softs, mediums, potentially the strategy for them, as Kazizel's coming from a mile back on the back of Ethan, into the hairpin. This will be a ridiculous move. He can pull this off. He doesn't know. Ethan there in 11th, Kazizel there in 12th. But it might have actually got him outside of DRS range. Luckily, he hasn't. And Ethan and Kazizel are going to remain as they are. But Kazizel, Daniel Ricciardo-esque, I think, potentially coming out in him there. He was looking for the move, didn't. Jeroen is into the pit lane. And lap 9 out of 35 is exactly where I thought, actually, the softs would actually last to. It's an optimal tyre strat around here of around 9 or 10 laps. I think F7R have done the safe thing, go in a little bit earlier, try and get the mediums, maybe a lap or two longer in this stint.
Yeah, no, if you can try and drag them for almost as long as the hards, they won't lose much time when it comes to the pit stop. But I think you can see the tyre wear being a little bit higher. That's a double FRT now, 3-second time penalty, first typical, and now FRT Harvey disaster down at future racing teams so far after a decent result of Bahrain with FRT Harvey picking up some good points. But Kazizel, yeah, you see Marketos 2.8 seconds back from BRT Gabor, leaving him so vulnerable to move from Kazizel behind.
Yeah, people saying in the chat as well, two-stop potentially will lose you time if there's too much traffic. Luckily for Yossi, Yaron and Ryan, they haven't actually got any traffic to deal with. They're going to have a huge undercut on everyone else in the field at this stage. Everyone else, though, in the second half of the race, especially those on the set of hards, are actually going to come into it in the longer term. So it's going to be a tale of two races almost, as Marlon's on the back of Volakongan coming out of the World Champion chicane in towards turn 1. He looks towards the inside line. Has he got the straight line speed? He dives it to the inside line, does the German around the outside of the Norwegian. Now coming through the the right-hander at turn number 2. Marlon with the traction. Oh, a little bit of a slide slightly. Volakongan's barely ahead, a widths apart. And Volakongan remains into 4th position. Nicely done by Marlon, still fighting back. There's the helicopter cam shot on board with Hazara for this, as Marlon still on the back, cannot find a way through on Volakongan. Good defensive driving in the end from the Shizuman, and he remains 4th.
Yeah, Volakongan, pretty good defence up the inside. He thought Marlon might be able to hold her on the outside, but it's good that he didn't. It's smart driving for Marlon, knowing that going around the outside there was, practically impossible for how tight the corner. We've just seen Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton have that very controversial collision. We've seen Sebastian Vettel pick up that 5-second time penalty. So I keep repeat on Marlon having to send at the inside now of Shizuo Volakongan. The medium's dropping off. Marlon knows if he gets this move done, it could be crucial, but he can't get it done. The traction on the hards is just too superior. And he leaves himself now vulnerable to Hazara move up the inside.
Yeah, definitely so. And look at Sam Gamer as well, just eyeing up potentially on the back of Joe Murphy, looking to the right-hand side. There's a move happening further down the field. It's Kazizel and Marketo swapping positions. They're outside of the DRS range now by about 3 seconds to Gabor. But Kazizel now, he's got pace, he's got ERS as well to burn. He's going to now try and get them 3, Ethan included in that, into this train, into potentially 6th, 7th, 8th position. That battle there. It's 5.3 seconds, by the way, between the gap from 1st to 9th. At the minute with Matteo overtaking Harvey, it's 11 seconds to 15th. And then Yossi gaining around a second and a half a lap right now on the back of Joe Murphy. 16.1 seconds. The last time I saw that, it was 17.2. So Yossi and Yaron clearly making inroads. Ryan, not so much. I wonder if he's struggling potentially with a little bit of damage on the car. 25 seconds now behind the gap to the leader in Joe Murphy. Of course, we will keep on board with the gap to the leader timings as the night goes on. But Joe Murphy leading the way as we go back to the interval timing. Anybody looking close for moving towards the hairpin? Not quite this time around. But Joe Murphy leading the way. Sam Gamer second. Enzo there in third. Everyone now just settling down into their rhythms. And Enzo win behind on the back of Sam Gamer. Sam Gamer's still got less ERS than Joe Murphy. Actually, he's got more ERS than Joe Murphy now, and about 40% more. Enzo there is on a full amount of battery. So to be announced are really, really strong in terms of their strategies. And again, unlike what I said earlier on about F7R and Crispy, it's to be announced in Crispy that Akuki and Cesaro is on the back of Marlon towards turn 1.
Yeah, I know, you can see just how good they've done with saving up that battery. They know that if Joe Murphy doesn't burn it, they can burn freely, and he has to burn it. It's a fantastic position for them to really try and force Joe Murphy into doing stuff that he doesn't want to do. You see Sam Gamer on a full battery, Enzo full battery, Joe Murphy 46% less than Sam Gamer and Enzo. You see Volakongan and Marlon again really close together. Marlon really trying to push the overtakes now with BRT Gabor. Might fancy his chance on GL Enzo on this lap as well, but you can see the grid slowly closing up at the front. This top 8 all within a second of each other. Hopefully it gets a little bit closer.
Yeah, definitely so. If you heard a squeak, by the way, my chair, the way I'm sitting, I've got my foot up on my bed, and my chair's just squeaked in the background. So apologies if you heard like ghost-like sound in the background. But Gabor's on the back of Enzo, and Enzo's lagging all over the place here. GD man and the BRT man's going to be very careful to make no contact in this. I think Gabor's just backing off, maybe just letting Enzo go, maybe letting this internet go ahead of him as well. But Sam Gamer on the back of Joe Murphy again. Sam Gamer so slow at the final corner, makes a mistake, and that's now put them completely on the back foot. And everyone nearly outside of DRS range. Endo now he's into second. Why didn't they do that earlier? I saw with Sam Gamer, 5 laps ago I think it was now. In terms of making a mistake out the final corner, they should have swapped the positions then. Now they've swapped the positions. Now Enzo was the quicker driver, I think, out of the two. Sam Gamer just making one too many mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, Kongan's nearly in the wall. Caused a huge knock-on effect in behind. Hazara, Enzo, and Marlon getting caught up in that as well, especially the NLR man. NLR man hangs on to the outside line on Enzo. Great recovery from Kongan. How on earth they've got away with that, I do not know. But Marlon there in sixth. And then Gabor and Enzo are side by side running down the straight into the chicane. Nobody going to make moves, though.
Yeah, it's really getting tight now. You can see that Marlon lost out a lot. Hazara now up in the 5th place. And now got Enzo and Gabor. Might now fancy the chances of Enzo with that collision ahead between Kongan and Marlon. Enzo going really deep. He's going to get a good exit due to going a little bit deeper. But you can see Gabor has closed up a little bit now.
Here's the other Enzo.
On the inside, you see Enzo Sum now goes for the race lead. And Enzo Sum gets the race lead. And Sam Gamer gets them as well. James, it's a TBA 1-2. It's Bahrain all over again. The Bahrain sprint. Rice Linton and Kai Pearson. Never mind. Enzo Sum and Sam Gamer. And tell you what, James, NLR Marlon into the pit lane for probably a set of hard tyres.
Probably a set of hard compound tyres. It might be interesting that we could go medium softs as an alternate strategy. He's gone softs. He's gone softs. That's exactly what I thought it might be, just an absolute reverse. Marlon set a soft compound tyre. Not sure if that's a mistake from him. If it is, it possibly is one of the most genius mistakes I think I've ever seen. Marlon into the pit lane, set a soft compound tyres. He's ahead of Ryan quite comfortably coming out the pit lane. Yossi and Yaron are obviously further ahead. But Marlon now in 18th position, going to be definitely one to watch out for now in this second stint in this race. He's got to go, I think, now from him softs. If they last 10 laps, another set of softs, and then he'll get to the end quite comfortably on that compound of tyre. There's a bit of a lock-up there from Sam Gamer into the braking zone of the hairpin, but Enzo leads the way. Sam Gamer in second, Joe Murphy there in third, to be announced. Sav and Kai Pearson in disguise, I think, currently for 1 and 2. Kongan there trying to chase down. Gabor's overtaking Enzo in the background. The shot BRT man now ahead into 6th position. Nicely done indeed. And the G League man there in 7th doing a very good job as well. Oh, as Enzo's nearly into the back there of Gabor, but he is into the pit lane from a set of hard compound of tyres. And for me, it looked like he got reset to track there for a second, but he's in the pit lane fine.
Yeah, he keeps on going. Luckily, Marco does. And Enzo into the pit lane. As you see, I can see crucially a front wing change for Enzo. So possibly for when a collision has happened ahead of him, he's been caught up and got some damage. Unluckily, so now he's going to be even further back from where he is. So another bigger ask for Enzo now trying to come back. His teammate Ethan up in P8 currently. No pit stops happened just yet for him. NVR struggled as well. Ogwin in 9th and Rev Caterpillar in 13th. But Jeroen and Yossi, their medium tyres can't be in a good medium window either. So really, I'm more confused on if F7 are actually going to be able to make up any more positions of what they are now.
Yeah, maybe not. Typical's just spawned coming through the right-hand return number 7. That might be a little bit of damage potentially on the car. There's Yossi to the inside line though. On the back of Ogwin is Rio and Varden Ball. That's a lovely move actually by Yossi, the Swiss man through. And he's into 9th position. The Swiss superhero, as Cesaro was once called in WWE. We've got our own Swiss superhero here. Yossi through and he's into 9th. Ogwin there in 10th. Nicely done by him. We could see potentially Gabor into the pit lane, but it's not. It's Ethan that is into the pit lane for G League. So he is into the pit lane. Enzo will swing to the medium compound tyres on the car. It's going to be a stretch to make it 18 laps, I think, on that compound tyre. Potentially 2-stop is quicker. That's what Marlon's certainly banking on there in 15th. OP now joined at the hip with Marcos and Ryan. Ryan's had a good switch, actually, in terms of him getting back into this. He's there in 16th position. He's ahead of Ethan, going to be coming out of the pit lane quite comfortably. Ethan's going to be ahead in turn of Enzo coming out of the pit lane. So all of this, it's almost as if we've got 2 races for the price of 1. We've got the guys who are coming in for potential 2-stop strategy, maybe some of them coming in for 1-stop, and then you've got everyone on a set of hards, Ross, that are just happy to keep on out there on a set of hards, possibly going transition to a set of mediums about 20 laps into this race.
Yeah, no, exactly. It really could be. You just never know what's going to happen in these races. It gets closer and closer and closer. Rev Caterpillar close to the back of FRT Harvey. But you have to say, though, even about Ryan gaining positions now, James, he's on 11 lap of mediums. So he's got to have another pit stop at some point to change over. And more question is, when do the hard guys come in? Sam Gamer stays out. Enzo's in the pit lane. Joe Murphy stays out. Kongan's out. Hazara, Gabor, Gazizzo into the pit lane. Yossi or that, they'll stay out. Yossi, Ogwin will be in either. So you can see a chain effect has not happened. Enzo and Gazizzo in. Sam Gamer, Joe Murphy, Kongan and Hazara stay out.
I think personally, if I was them, I'd be staying out as well. I think actually, with the pit lane and with the traffic loss potentially for Enzo now, they're side by side in towards turn one between Rev Caterpillar and Harvey. That's the job done for the NVR man. Marlon is side by side almost with Enzo coming out the pit lane. There was a little bit of ghosting there coming out the pit lane. I'm not sure if Enzo may have cut across the white line on the exit of the pit lane. If he did, it was very minimal. But Enzo there is now under pressure from Marlon. Those softs are up to temperature. His mediums will not be up to temperature until we get to the hairpin, so Marlon's got to really make this count. He's got hardly any battery though, so I don't see how he's going to actually try and get past him, even in towards the hairpin. So Enzo's actually came out behind Harvey and Rev Caterpillar. Unfortunately for him though, in 12th position, he's in a bit of trouble. He's in a bit of traffic with Rev Caterpillar and Harvey ahead. The sooner he gets past them, the better it is. But everyone's staying out a lap longer. The likes of Sam Game, the likes of Joe Murphy, I think I've called this pretty much very perfectly, as Enzo's got past Harvey, so has Marlon to the inside line, and Sam Gaiman now splitting the strategy. He's in, Volakongan in, Gabor in. They're all coming in now for a set of mediums.
Yeah, finally back in for their pit stops now. Sam Gamer out nice and fast. Volakongan just coming through. Now it looks like Volakongan might be okay from Enzo, but Enzo's coming through now. Sam Gamer is also coming through. Matteo stays out. Yossi and Jeroen have also stayed out. You can see Enzo coming through now. Marlon just behind him with the soft tyre. Harvey and Rev Caterpillar. Markador. Sam Gamer comes in. Will be able to win Markador's on exit. Markador will be able to hold it. Sam Gamer gets ahead. Volakongan 12. Ethan not what to gain from that either. Gabor still trying to get past his G-League driver. Not Enzo this time. It's Ethan for this one because he's out in 15th. Ryan on his old medium tyres 16th and probably even further back now.
Yeah, look at how Marlon, though, and Enzo have got that big undercut going. They're going down the straight pretty much side by side as well, just in the foreground of the shot. But Sam Game is now side by side with Rev Caterpillar. Markador's switching to the inside line as well. Rev Caterpillar, in the end, snaking his way out of that. And I'll tell you what, it's a good job he did, because there would have been contact, I think, into the chicane. But that is job done for Markador's and Sam Gamer. They're through. Harvey there, getting absolutely obliterated nearly by... Sorry, Marlon that was. Nearly getting obliterated there by Matteo, but Marlon's doing his into 6th. Matteo there in 7th. Murphy into the pit lane. But look at the gain. It's around 4 or 5 seconds, the gain actually on track. Markador's now catching the back of Harvey very quickly indeed. Could well be boxed in into the wall of champion chicane. He's not though. He's got through. Harvey continues on for now. He's going to bank on a set of soft compounder tyre towards the end of the race, I think. Same with Matteo. Maybe with Hazara as well continuing out. But everyone, this race is absolutely up in arms. Anybody could still win this.
Yeah, it really is such an open race still. If they can pull it off, it'll be something else. I've just seen Thales. He's got a 3 second, along with, crucially, BRT Gabor has also got his 3 seconds for the first time as well. Ends up in 4th right now. Marlon in 5th.
Ethan.
Matteo needs to pit again. Ethan thinking about it, as you can see there. Rev Caterpillar can't do anything. Look at BRT Gabor as well, running the outside. Gabor gets stuck because he wants to get through. Almost, and can it be 3 overtakes and 2 corners on Rev Caterpillar? The slow NVR driver, well, he's been caught out. Those tyres are too much to defend from, and well, the fresh mediums are really starting to ramp up now.
Showing a bit as much as pace as me in my league races around here. Rev Caterpillar right now. Enzo from an absolute mile back gets the job done on him as well. Rev Caterpillar's just been bullied out of those positions. Quite literally. Markador's now side by side with Matteo. Matteo's going to try and run into line of stern on the back of Sam Gamer, but Markador's looks to the inside of Matteo. Job done for him. The Mercedes got to be careful that he doesn't come in the pit lane. He doesn't. There's a yellow flag out on track, and that's Thales round up the hairpin, I think. So Thales round up the hairpin. No safety car VSC so far here tonight. Hazara's into the pit lane now as well, but look at the loss that he's got. Hazara was running easily in the top 10. He's now in 16th position, and he's actually going to be running side by side with Enzo and Rev Caterpillar coming out the pit lane. Harvey now side by side with Ethan in towards turn number 3 and 4. The amount of overtakes that we're seeing, you could almost make up for a season of overtakes in this race as Harvey's in the wall. Harvey in the wall, and that's the first safety car of the night. Hard collision into the wall. Gabor was also out in the race as well. Not sure what happened there. All I saw was a Haas in the wall.
Yeah, I think I see it there. Gabor has been caught up in a collision as well. I think it was maybe possibly a misunderstanding between the two of them. Harvey may have been trying to let Gabor through. Gabor might not have seen it, and Gabor's been put into the wall from it. We need to see more from the incident, but an FRT DNF and crucially a Bunga Racing Team DNF. And I tell you what, James, F7R are welcomed right back into this. They have stayed out. Their soft start has worked out perfectly. They're now going to be able to go back onto, I would guess, a hard tyre now to the end, or maybe even another soft tyre, whatever they prefer. Enzo stays out once again. Sam Gamer stays out. Matteo will now be in the box.
Marketer's in.
Marketer's in the pit as well. A couple of confused pit stops, but in the end, James, this could be crucial for the end of the race.
I don't get why, actually, they're coming in for a new, fresh set of medium compounded tyres. I really don't. They're going to drop so far down the field. Ogween's staying out as well is not going to help the cause. Yossi Yaron, they're going to be what? Yossi's coming out of the pit lane. He's ahead of Hazara, so he's actually fine. Yaron there in 9th. As Typical's picked up a typical drive-through penalty under the safety car, so that is very much typical for him. Into the pit lane, the Haas man there down on a set of what will be, I think, medium compounded tyres on the car as well. But Enzo there leading the way. Sam Gamer there in 2nd. Joe Murphy there in 3rd. That collision, by the way, between Harvey and Gabor, it looked like Harvey was unsighted on the back of Gabor was unsighted on the back of Harvey. Harvey's moved to crossing him pretty much to not realise that he's there, and both of them have ended up in the wall. Gabor, I think, recovered it slightly. He's went further ahead and crashed in the wall. Harvey, though, in the wall. Unfortunate incident, could have easily been avoided, but in the end, incidents do happen in Formula 1. It's just part and parcel of the sport, part and parcel of why we do this. It's Enzo though out on top, it's Sam Gamer there in 2nd, Joe Murphy there in 3rd, for Harvey and Gabor both out of the race, safety car deployed out on track. And what was it I said about 30 seconds earlier? No safety cars or VSCs? I'm an absolute curse.
Yeah, an absolute curse indeed, James. Enzo Sum, Sam Gamer, BRT Joe Murphy, Shizu Volakongan, and GL Ethan all stay out on old medium tyres. And in behind them, S7R Yossi. Brand new set of medium compound tyres. Hazara, brand new set. Ogween, only 3 laps, so he stayed out as well. But he's up in 8th place now for MVR. Crucially, F7R Yarun, fresh tyres in 9th. Marlon also fresh. Marketos. Everyone down from Marketos is also on a fresh set of tyres. So this is, honestly, James, this race is so wide open. So much carnage can occur ahead of us. Let's hope not, though, as Enzo, Sim, and Sam Gamer are back 1-2 though for TBA.
I'm going to watch out as well. There's a man that I have spied who was very interesting on this compounded tyre. Given that we're under safety car conditions, given that this compounded tyre is not really going to be falling into effect, we got it by now? Matteo, P12, set a soft compounded tyre. I am pretty confident they're going to get to the end of the race before these tyres actually last out, as Typical picks up a 3-second penalty. He's not having the greatest of nights, is he? The man from FRT. But back to Matteo, he's there in P12 right now. Set us off compounded tyre. If he can make those tyres work immediately off the safety car restart, he's going to have Markedos and Marlon for absolute chips on those tyres. Then he gets the likes of Ogween. Ogween's going to drop further down the field. So Matteo's got potentially 2 or 3 opportunities off the safety car restart to really try and hammer home a good points haul here for ETA. He's got to be careful when he's making his moves, but they're the freshest compounded tyre out there right now, and with the safety car still staying out an extra lap, good news for Matteo, because I'm very confident that he will get to the end of the race on that compounded tyre. It's just about, there's actually the safety car's in this lap as soon as I say that. Matteo there in 12th position. He's now been absolutely screwed by the safety car.
Yeah, he really has been screwed by that safety car, but let's see it though, James. I am so intrigued to see how this goes. Enzo, Sim, and Sam Gamer going as slow as possible. They're going to leave it as late as possible, tell each other when to go, and hopefully try and pull a small little gap to BRT,
wow.
Joe Murphy behind Willa Kong, and there you can see they're trying to catch him. Remember, Joe Murphy is caught onto their trap instantly and is going to be able to go running outside, possible into turn number 1 as Sam Gamer, but Sam Gamer, perfect defence on the inside lane, but Joe Murphy hanging around the outside. Can he possibly get the traction done enough to maybe get that move and maybe sorted there, but it's not going to happen for him just yet. Sam Gamer holds on to P2 currently for BRT, Joe Murphy in 3rd place, Shizu Volakong in 4th place, Ethan in 5th, Yossi on the freshest tyres of them all in the mediums in 6th place currently. No. He knows if he gets moves done. Cazizzo and Markedos, we said there, are getting really close together. They still go wheel to wheel. Cazizzo and Markedos, but Cazizzo gets through in a P12. Markedos in 13th. Rev Caterpillar and Enzo as well, trying to see if he can get through a Markedos, who's been really struggling for pace today.
He has, he really has. Mateo, by the way, what did I say about him? In P11? Yeah, he's making up positions, isn't he? He's there in P11. Markador's dropping down the field, and that is an absolute send from Azara to the inside line, and he just absolutely obliterated into the back of Yossi. Yossi's actually came out of Goldstein on the back of Ethan. He's going to be behind him. He gets out of that DRS range. There's a bit of contact further down the field. There's one in the wall, and that's Rev Caterpillar, and that's a safety car. Safety car deployed out on track. It's G-League's Enzo who's being called up on that, along with Rev Caterpillar. Didn't see what happened in the background. I'm sure there'll be comments about that. But the driving standards dropping. Safety car out on track. Everyone's actually missing the pit lane. But look who is coming in the pit lane. We've got Typical staying out. We've got Markador's in. So Markador's into the pit lane. This is now from wing change. Definite from wing change. That's why he was struggling. Damage now on the car. Set of softs going to be on. Rev Caterpillar, Enzo's got no front wing as well. He's into the pit lane. Set us off compound ties for him. Unfortunate into between them both. But Markador's now 16th position. With that damage now gone, what can he do?
Yeah, what can he do is one of the bigger questions. Markador's, we know he's been really, really struggling for some pace today. Will the softs be the answer to his pace unfortunate situation? Enzo allowed back into this race as well after that collision with Rev Caterpillar. I'm not sure what happened down at that hairpin. I wasn't able to catch him. A Typical staying out on his soft tires. Mateo also staying out. This does help the used tyre guys though, like so Enzo, Sam Gamer, Joe Murphy, Volokong, and Hazara, and Ethan, from the likes of Yossi and Yarun behind, who might be thinking about manoeuvres early on. The safety car will obviously not be in this lap. We should be back racing though, hopefully on lap 27.
Yep, saves again, Mateo. I think with this safety car coming out literally a lap later than what the first one came in, Mateo's saved now in terms of his tyres. It's just whether or not he can get through the field on that set of soft compound tyre. Everyone else on the fresher set of softs have got absolutely no chance to make their way through the field. It's just far too much ground, I think, to make up how this race is going to develop and how this race is going to perceive. It's Enzo out on top, though, from Sam Game in second. Joe Murphy there in third. The roll call follows in behind with Volokongan in fourth. Hazara there in fifth, and G-League's Ethan in sixth. Yossi in seventh. Ogween in eighth. Yaron in ninth, and Marlon for NLR there in 10th. Mateo, Kazizel, Ryan, Typical, and Markador's now top 15 as Tales is into the pit lane for set of Thresher, set of soft compound tyre. And Endel now into 16th and Heron in that position. Tales there down at the back of the field. Myself, James Head, and Ross Greenhorn. Frankenstein himself alongside me in the commentary box. And Endel leading the way. Sam Game in second. 2BA12, or TBA12, I should say. Where have we seen this one before?
Where have we seen this one before, James? That was a great shout. Let's see it then. Sam Gamer, Enzo Soon, BRT, Joe Murphy. Joe got the freshest of the two. Sam Gamer's got one lap fresher than his teammate ahead, but they can. We know TBA love to work together really well. We've seen Kai Pearson recently cross the line wheel to wheel with each other. And so that was, one of the spectacles of the season so far, really showing how dominant they can be on their day. With Kai Pearson now moving along to the PC side of things. Wish him good luck on his embarks on that side of things as well. Reese Linton still very much on the Xbox. Those seeing what he can do as well. Yarun still in P9 as well. The F7R picking up good points now on Outplayed Racing. I tell you what, if F7R can get any higher than they are now, Outplayed might be able to get some moves done as well on the soft compound tyre. Whatever happens. But F7R must be licking their lips now, thinking if we get moves done, we will gain a lot on our rivals ahead.
I'm definitely licking my lips now because the safety car is coming back into the pit lane. It is Enzo out on top. The sun is now out here in Canada. Means the mediums are going to come into play more than the softs because the track temperature always going to evolve when the sun is out. The softs will wear and grain a lot more now compared to the mediums. But Enzo now the virtual Burt Malander. He's now the virtual safety car. It's a very quick restart actually by Enzo. About 85 miles an hour on average coming through the wall of Champion Chicane. And this immediately is going to bring Sam Gamer into play. And that was more judged, I think, from the first restart than the second. Enzo leads the way, but Sam Game is on the back from him towards turn number one. There's going to be side-by-side as well with Yaron and Marlon, it seems. Around the outside goes Marlon. Yaron on the inside line now for the outside of turn number two. Going to try and hang on all the way around the outside if he can. There's Mateo to the inside line as well. On the back of Yaron. This was the fear with the mediums dropping off. Mateo trying to make up early ground. Underneath the safety car restart, just can't. And he's now on that medium, on that set of soft compound tyre. On the back of Yarona's on a set of mediums as Typical's dropping down the field, and that's another safety car. Out on track, we have 3 and 3 laps. Markador's has got no front wing. Typical's got damage as well. And it's Typical. We've got another safety car.
Very good play on words there, James. But yeah, no, typical. Caught up in an incident. Obviously, with Markados ahead of him, no front wing for OP. Markados hindering his race once we went from no safety car in around 20 laps to 3 in 5. What is going on? Honestly, it always ends up happening late on. I tell you what, this has got to give a bit of a confusing time for the likes of Enzo and Sam. Do they still stay out? Do they now maybe pit for some soft tyres to the likes of Joe Murphy and stuff as well? But it looks like Enzo is actually staying out. I thought Enzo might be in the pit lane. Enzo stays out. Joe also staying out as well. It looks like everyone is going to stay out for the time being. It wouldn't be surprising to see someone come into the pit lane, but they all stay out on the medium compound tyre. Matteo still on the softs. This will be helping him drag them a little bit more to the end.
Talah's into the pit lane, along with Typical and Markados. So Markados is into the pit. He's got no front wing on that car. Typical into the pit lane. He has got, I think, left side. I think it's left side end plate damage on the car. If I'm not mistaken, you can see it. The winglet missing on the left-hand side. So that's him into the pit lane. And yeah, not great news at all for FLT. They've had an absolute disaster in terms of their race. Harvey, they're down in P20 with that collision with Gabor. Typical's had a drive-through penalty, which, by the way, he still has not served. Still has got a drive-through penalty to serve, even on top of this. You cannot get any more unluckier than what you are getting right now with Typical in 16th position. As long as he can serve that drive-through before the end of this race, I think it will be Christmas before Halloween comes around again. 16th for Typical, Markados in 17th. He's had an absolute wretched race with damage early on as well. But somebody that hasn't had a wretched race, I think, is Joe Murphy. He's been absolutely excellent in this race. He's there in third. On the back of the TBA guys, of course, in first and second, Joe Murphy maybe, I'm suggesting, in the prime spot, because he's got a lap pressure tyres than Sam Gamer, lap pressure tyres than Enzo, probably about 5 to 10% better off in terms of the tyre wears on both of them. So Joe Murphy, probably going to be playing absolutely with fire and looking to try and get both of them potentially off this restart.
Yeah, no, that'll be one of those main points here, trying to see what he can do to try and see if he can get ahead of these two. He doesn't want these two to break away, helping each other out. If they end up breaking away and help each other out, it just leaves Joe in a massive predicament and trying to score this podium for BRT with Volakogan behind in the DRS. You know, it's such a tough ask for both BRT Joe Murphy with his teammate, you know, all the way down. Actually out of this race, sorry, should I say. He's actually out of this race after that collision with FRT Harvey, so Joe left with it all to do himself. BRT not really gaining points on it. They're close rivals ahead. They're trying to do their best to see what they can do, but it looks like TB will be gaining big points if it stays the same. BRT will still be gaining, but not enough to really gain anyone else. Shazoo also gaining though, with Volakongan in 4th and Kizil in 12th.
Crispy, by the way, mentioned a very interesting comment, and I actually back this comment as well. This is why safety cars should be binned, might be banned potentially in terms of that. Add 0 value to leagues. Yeah, I think, especially around a track like Canada, where you get safety car, because it is on standard, I think, in Legacy Division, not reduced. Safety car, even on reduced, I've had 5 safety cars in one race, even on reduced, so with that, I think that is a very valid point, and it's certainly something that we have to discuss, not only as a community. The safety car is getting even earlier coming in. Safety car now is back in this lap. Once again, please say we're going to get to the end of the race. Enzo leading the way is now Virtual Burbander for the 3rd time in his very short TBA career. Sam Gamer there in 2nd. He's going to try and follow him through. Joe Murphy there in 3rd. But yeah, I agree with that safety car point. It should be potentially even reduced, even turned off, I think, in some cases, especially around a track like this. But it is on a track-by-track basis, I think, that has to be taken on board. But Enzo now in towards the wall of Champion Chicane once again. Prepare for 30 seconds time and another safety car, is all I'm saying.
Wouldn't surprise you. Would not surprise you. Enzo soon though eyeing himself up for another, hopefully better restart than last time for his teammate. They go nice and early this time though, and Joe Murphy is not able to get alongside Sam Gamer. He'll be comfortable in towards turn number 1. Matteo looking for the move on F7R. You ruined F2 Typical.
Oh, you are joking.
From the session. He's
Joke.
not been able to serve his drive through. That's very unfair on the FRT driver, and yep, that is it. Double DNF for FRT. Matteo thought about the move down F7R. You run on the outside lane at turn number 2, but not enough to hold it on the outside.
Enzo on the back of Ryan in toward the left-hand return 6 and 7. Tries to look toward the outside line. He's got 2 lap pressure tyres. Going to have to make that traction work. Doesn't though. Ryan stays ahead of him for 13th position. That, by the way, is an absolute joke. That just comes to show how broken the game is, because you can't even serve a drive-through penalty. Ethan is in the wall as well. He's actually got a little bit of damage, I think, on the right side end plate. Marlon got caught up in that as well with that knock-on effect. Mateo's trying to look to the outside line on him in through the left-hander of turn, or the right-hander of turn number 11 even. Joe Murphy on the back of Sam Gamer, really beginning to try and hassle the back of the TBA guys, but Enzo soon leading the way from Sam Gamer in second, Joe Murphy there in third, in towards the right hand of the wall of champion chicane on lap 31 of 35 about to begin. Ethan and Mateo all over the back of each other. Ethan again, if he hasn't got damage, I'd be very surprised, as Mateo's right on the back of him in towards turn number 1. The ETA man surely up the inside line of the G League man, and he is. It's Mateo through and he's into 9th, and that was an absolute send and a half from Ryan in the background on the back of the lucky charm car of the Alfa Romeo of Kazizel. Kazizel now fighting side by side into turn 3 and 4. Bit of decent going on between them both. Ogween's got a 3-second penalty, but how on earth they've got through there with no damage is beyond me. Brilliant racing between them, blocking them, and there's Enzo up the inside line. Marketer's up the inside line. It's still all kicking off, and Joe Murphy's still on the back of Sam Gamer for second.
Outplayed Racing, 14th and 15th. James, what is going on here in Canada? It is unbelievable. TBA 1-2, OP 14-15, F7R getting moved on left, right and centre. It's Azara now is the next victim to F7R. Yossi on this Halloween night. Yossi is really creating a scare for these guys behind them and thinking, oh no, Volakongan must be thinking, oh no, Yossi's behind me. Joe Murphy as well. The fresher medium tyres are starting to kick in now, and Yossi is really eyeing up that podium for F7R. Really, really gaining massive points on their championship rivals. Outplayed Racing. This is a massive opportunity for them to gain heading into that transfer window next week. They all carry on down the straight. They're starting off lap 32. DRS is back enabled for these guys ahead. OP Markados thinking about manoeuvre on GL. Ethan, he's flashing on with DRS. Ethan may have to put the inside lane. Doesn't know it's Markados up the inside now on GL. Ethan tries to hold it. There's nothing he can do on the old medium compound tyre. Markados through into P14.
Yeah, and as I say as well, I think Ethan may have damage on that right side end plate, so it is even worse for him. Tales is going side by side with him, nearly mirroring there. Vettel and Hamilton coming through there. They're in an Alpine and AlphaTauri this time around. Still, Tales tries to go to the inside line. On the back is for 15th and 16th, by the way. This matters because this is the final point available for the drivers out on track. Ethan and Tales are still side by side, coming out through, and Tales gets 15th and gets the job done eventually on the back of Ethan. Here's Joe Murphy on the back of Sam Gamer for second position. To the outside line goes the Irishman. Sam Gamer, though, the Canadian knows what he's doing at his home track. He forces them out on the outside line, force them out on the dirty marbles, and that means Volakongan and Yossi can try and have a run down the straight, but they're running side by side down the straight in the background. Yossi now getting ahead of Volakongan. Yossi is the one to watch out for. Sam Gamer now retakes the lead off the back of Enzo, so they swap positions in front for TBA. Joe Murphy there in third. Yossi, though, 2 lap pressure tyres compared to everyone else. He is the man to watch out for. F7R are potentially on for their third victory in goodness knows how many weeks, as now switches to the inside line, and look at this, Yossi's through and he's into second. Contact between Enzo and Joe Murphy, and Yossi now through and into second, and the race win may be on for F7R.
Wow, what a move from Yossi. Joe and Enzo going far too aggressive at turn number 2. Enzo actually putting Joe wide at the apex, and that has put Yossi well ahead, and up the inside of both of them as a through goes Hamilton moment for F7R. Yossi, who now must be eyeing up the win, not the podium. GL Enzo is now into the wall, as you said there, James. What an absolute turn of events. Yossi going from just getting a podium to eyeing up the race win. James, he surely must be thinking to himself, this could be it for me. If I can just get this move done, it's going to be a fantastic win for F7R.
Just remember as well, Yossi started P20 on the grid with a qualifying banner. Now he's going for P1 on lap 33 out of 35. Yossi, the Swissman, to the inside line, wrecking the hometown hero for now. But Yossi now leads the Canadian Grand Prix down into the wall of champion chicane. He's got so much more pace. This should be now him for the win. Sam Gamer in second, though, is going to try and come back at him in towards turn 1. He's not closing in quite enough, but as long as Sam Gamer stays within a couple of tenths of a second, and as long as he puts Yossi under pressure, this is not hung, drawn and quartered. This is not over and done with just yet. Ogwin and Hazara are side by side on the background coming through turn 1 as well, but Hazara there hangs on to 6th. Ogwin there in 7th. What a race this is. But Yossi doing what Lewis Hamilton did in 2019 when he won in Brazil from 20th on the grid. He is up to 1st. I watched that video a little bit later on with Hamilton taking 20th to 1st, and Yossi has made about as many overtakes as what Lewis Hamilton did in that race as well. So Yossi through into the lead of the race, but again, not over and done with. Joe Murphy as well, the Irishman, having his Guinness, maybe having one too many. He's on the back of Sam Gamer though for 2nd.
Yeah, Joe's thinking about it. Look at Ogwin kind of turning about OP Markadors. The change in pace has really came out now for the German, and Markadors on the outside. Another move done for Outplayed Racing. They know they want to keep that gap closed with F7R. You run down to P15 now. OP.
Hey, Sam Gamer. Oh!
Not lose up as many here. Sam Gamer, as he said there, Yossi thinking about manoeuvre on the second last lap. Now flying on to one final lap for the Canadian Grand Prix. Is it Yossi? Is it Sam Gamer? Is it Joe Murphy? Let's all find out. What a close race it's been, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be the race winner?
Sam's just got to be cautious now in terms of Yossi. Yossi wanted to try and play the team game there with Sam Gamer and try and force him into going ahead. Didn't. Sam Gamer knew and countered that and stayed him behind. He got the DRS, and he's going to get the DRS now in towards turn 6 and 7, and then out of towards 8 and 9 as well. So Yossi leading the way, but Sam Gamer, the hometown hero, trying to come at him now, running down the back straight in towards turns 8 and 9. This again is not over and done with just yet. Sam Gamer right on the back of Yossi, but he takes a very, very thin line coming through there. That might just be it as Yossi 4/10 clear in towards the hairpin. A bit of lag going on. Into the hairpin we go. Joe Murphy and Volakongan still not. There's a bit of a rear lock there from Sam Gamer. Very much locking up the brakes. 0.5 of a second. Is it enough for him to come now down at the back of Yossi? Closing in. The slipstream is too powerful, I think, around this track. And now Sam Gamer taking the lead from Yossi. Yossi nearly puts him in the wall, but Sam Gamer through into the Wall of Champions through the final corner to be announced in Yossi. Oh, they're going to get it though. Sam Gamer now to the line. Takes the race win. Just about. Brilliant finish. Yossi there in 2nd. Joe Murphy there in 3rd. Yossi in the end. Absolutely outgunned by Sam Gamer. Even though he had the run coming out the final corner. I wish that DRS detection zone wasn't shared. Sam Gamer out on top. Yossi in 2nd. The hometown hero conquers the heroine from Switzerland.
What a finish it was. Another last lap overtake again. Mubarak last week. It's Sam Gamer returning to the top step this week. Why, oh my, what a race in the end. Yossi with a very much a fantastic second. Qualifying ban for a late lineup. One of the most silly things to get qualifying bans for. Well, that did not affect Yossi today. What a drive for us. Second place finish. Joe Murphy then end up getting Kazizo on the line in the end, so he does take that 3rd place for Bunga Racing Team after getting, that really tough manoeuvre on the 3rd last lap, which caused Yossi up in the 2nd place, but still, Volakongan home in 4th, Enzo Sum in 5th, Hazara 6th. Ryan and Markadors recovering well for an OP7-8, Kazizo 9th, and Marlon rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, definitely so. What a race that was. Again, Sam Gamer went rear locking fully into the hairpin. If he lost another 10th or 2, it could have been a different story. Yossi as well, if he had a better run at the final corner, could have been. It's if, buts and maybes, but what is absolute is Sam Gamer taking the race win from Yossi there in 2nd in an absolute phenomenal battle. He certainly drove the day for me as Yossi. Joe Murphy there in 3rd with Volakongan in 4th. Enzo there in 5th. TBA 1-2, a 1-5 in the end. It still doesn't, it still counts though. Hazara there in 6th. OP in the end. They were 15th and 16th, I think, at one point. They're 7th and 8th now, and they do actually recover some points as a result of the penalties. Kazizel there in 9th, Molon there in 12th, Ogwin in 11th, then Matteo in 12th, Ethan, Tales in your own top 15. Enzo in the end, DNFing, I think out on track he retired, so they're down in 16th, still gets classified, I think, in the result. Doesn't pick up the points though. Rev Caterpillar, Gabor, Harvey and Typical. Typical actually showing as a DNF, but he got disqualified. Rev Caterpillar involved in the incident, and Gabor and Harvey involved in their incident. Both of them ending up the race a little bit early on. What a race. That is how you end off Legacy Division before the transfer window. That is how you end off in terms of Legacy Division before the Dutch Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time. And for a Halloween treat, that was one hell of a race. And put it this way, drivers had tricks, but we had plenty of treats.
Yeah, that was a fantastic Halloween night of racing here in the WR Legacy Division. Next time out, unfortunately, next week we are in a little bit of a break week, so you all have a week off to really take in what a last lap battle we have had for the last 2 races. First in Bahrain, Mubarak and Kai Pearson. Now in Canada with Sam Gamer and F7R Yaza. Your next 5 tracks, your final 5 tracks of the season, being in Netherlands in the next round. Then after you go to Suzuka in Japan. Then you go into Abu Dhabi, Brazil, and you round it out with a fantastic last rounder in Las Vegas, and that famous Las Vegas strip with too many landmarks for me to remember in commentary. But still, thank you all so much for another great race. This might be the final appearance for me, with hopefully the return of Jotter next week. But if it's not, hope to see you all in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely. So it's been a privilege having you alongside me, Ross. If that is the case and Jota does return in 2 weeks, that means you're stuck with me again for the next 5 weeks after that, with Netherlands, Japan, Abu Dhabi, which I'm actually not here for. So that's the one race you can actually tune in for that I'm not going to be here for. Brazil and Las Vegas, though, to end off the season. What a race that was. In terms of the drivers, in terms of the team standings, by the way, we have got them updated provisionally with the points going into the break week. Outplayed Racing leading on 366 points. F7R in second on 313. And then it is to be announced in third on 234. Now into third ahead of Bunker Racing Team and fourth on 200. But look at how close this is. Team Shazoo fifth on 197. Novus Racing sixth on 196. So only 4 points separating 3 teams there. Then a bit of a split down to NLR Esports in seventh on 159. G League eighth on 151. Then Parnell Racing in ninth on 142. ETA 10th on 99. Then Future Racing Team 11th on 83. And Nexus Racing Team, of course, remembering as they are, down, remaining as they are even, on 35 points after only completing 1 round. And of course, that was a P3 finish as well from Cindery back in round 1, all the way back in Monaco when Louis Valentin dominated. How that seems like a lifetime ago. But Outplay Racing out on top, going into the break week, 53 points to advantage over F7R. You are going to be treated, I'm sure, to some really good action, and hopefully the return of Jota as well when we get back from the break week. But for myself and Ross, big thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the stream, like, comment, subscribe. Tick that notification bell if you're brand new to the channel. We'll be back in 2 weeks. More action to come, of course, on the WOR channel before then. Thank you so much for watching. I've been James Head. He's been Frankenstein. I have been absolutely... yeah, I can't even speak. I can't even end the stream off properly. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.